Join discord.gg/flatearth and enter a check-in room. Someone will come along and verify you to get involved in the conversation about our Earth.
So Roohif, you got globe Earth roles got onto you, so you should be able to talk. You're locally muted right now, so just unmute your mic.
There we go. Good morning, everyone.
What up? What up?
Hey.
So Wendeck was texting me in the DMs, and he says that you have drop over distance measurements. Is this correct?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. You know what? Let me give you some perms. Don't fucking post any like rugged images in my live stream voice text though, because you'll be swiftly taken away. So I'm gonna give you image link. I'm gonna give you image link perm so you can start posting stuff in the live stream voice text.
Yep.
All right. So you have image link perms, Roohif. Go ahead and post the relevant info. You got it like a spiel you're gonna go into?
Oh, not particularly. But the basic idea is you get on top of a mountain and you point a theodolite at another mountain, both points of known elevation. You can make a prediction for what that angle will be if the Earth is flat, or you can make a prediction for what that angle will be with a globe and factor in the drop. The angle that you do measure matches the one with drop. That's it.
Let me read this here. So if I'm standing on the top of a mountain that has an elevation of 1,000 meters, and I point the theodolite at a mountain that is 30,000 meters away, and that has an elevation of 1,200 meters, what a vertical angle will I measure? ? Make any assumptions about that atmosphere that you require, or any assumptions that you believe are required to calculate this predicted angle. Are you willing to test your prediction in reality? You're making a question. Are these questions in lieu of this test or what?
No, I've done the measurements, but that slide is more to get you guys to understand the geometry of it.
Brandon debunked this years ago.
Yeah, I mean, just go ahead and post your method, I suppose. Go through the method, post your method, and then go through it, and we'll see.
It's in video form, so if we can stream.
Oh shit, dude! Are you serious? You don't got it? Well, we're gonna need something out so you can bring some context to it. Put your video up, anyways.
Yeah, we'll do. 1 sec.
I'd say put all the information up.
Okay, 1 second. Excuse me. The link is in the chat for my video. So I went up to the Californian aqueduct. Took a theodolite up there.
Hold up, it says Epic doing it fucking properly. What is that? Why did you? This got a fucked up title, but yeah, go ahead. It says doing it fucking properly.
Oh, that was in reference to. That was in reference to Jay Tolan Media.
Okay, so you're rebutting Jay Tolan in this video.
Yeah, and doing my own measurements where he did his measurements. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I went to LA.
Max distance that you're doing, because is that you on the thumbnail?
Yep.
Is it okay? Go ahead.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, George.
What's the maximum range for a theodolite?
If you can see it, you can measure an angle to it.
I was going to ask him. Yeah, you're right. But well, just finish your spiel. But we'll go ahead and get into that, George, after he's. Yeah. I want him to finish his kind of like whatever he's going to present.
Yeah. So I went up to the Californian aqueduct. It's a known elevation. There are survey benchmarks all around it. Pointed the theodolite at various mountains around, in between 30 kilometers and maybe 60 kilometers. Made predictions for what the angle would be on both a globe and a flat Earth, and the measurements matched the globe one, and contradict the flat Earth prediction.
What was the flat Earth prediction?
It was assuming no refraction and just a right triangle between the 2 points.
So assuming
I'll take some screenshots. Yeah, because that actually works against you. So I was being generous. I'll show you a screenshot. There we go. Screenshots.
What was Jay
Oh.
Tolan's? Because I just need some context here. You're rebutting Jay Tolan's. What I would say it's a video that he had up.
He did a video.
Infrared, right? Infrared camera.
Yep.
Okay, and
But
what,
he
what
set
is
up.
the? Go ahead.
You go. Oh, he set up an inclinometer strapped to a telescope, and made a couple of measurements over about a mile. And just in short, his instrument was first of all not able to be calibrated to horizontal, and it just wasn't accurate enough. His instrument was bad.
What was he?
So I went
What
and
was
did
he
it properly.
using? By the way, what was the instrument that Jay Tolan was using?
An inclinometer strapped to a telescope, so he couldn't actually level the device properly like a theodolite. And the
Oh,
inclinometer-
I get it. Yeah, so I see what you're saying. You're in contrast to what you did. Is that what you're saying? He's using something differently as far as equipment goes to what you were using. You're
Yeah.
using something different. Okay.
Yeah, I use something better, so more accurate and able to be leveled. So I've just posted in the chat a screenshot from the video. That is basically the flat Earth prediction. So it goes through where the observer is, the elevation of the mountain we're looking at, and the distance, and works out a predicted angle. If I had incorporated refraction into that, it would be worse for flat Earth. So I was being generous.
But if you use that equipment,
How do you determine level?
George,
go ahead, George. Wait, did you finish, Roohif, by the way? Because I don't know if you had
Yeah.
more to add.
Oh,
That
we
was-
can
is
go
that
through
the end of your? No, I want
We
you
can
to finish your presentation, dude. Because if I want you to give me your A game. Let's say I don't.
Oh,
I don't
I
wanna
can
leave
post the
anything out.
formula for the globe. The globe formula is a bit complicated.
Yeah.
but I'll,
Put everything up there.
all right,
Because
let me
you're
find
coming
it.
into a place where, in just a moment, you're gonna find out. Like,
Oh yeah, I've been here before. I've been banned here before.
I know,
Understood. Yeah.
but I'm just saying, you got to, because I don't want there to be something that's left out, and you'd be like, oh, I didn't get to fucking post this, so go ahead and post what you.
Yeah. Where are we? Live stream voice text. All right, so I've just posted the formula for a globe. Well, sorry, the top formula there is the formula for a flat Earth, and the bottom formula is obviously more complicated because it takes into account curvature and refraction and blah blah blah. Yeah, so it's a bit more complicated, but that's the expected angle on a globe at the bottom.
Okay.
All right.
So we got the formula. We got the expected. Wait. Is the angle measurement that's above that image you posted? What's expected on a flat Earth?
Yeah, without
Is
refraction.
that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Without refraction.
Yes.
Okay.
Like I said, with
Yeah.
refraction, it would be worse.
Oh, you're using your video as a presentation slide, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else? Because I'm gonna open up to the panel and
Oh yeah.
I'll let
I'm
one
ready.
by one ask you. Okay. Okay. So George or Sasha, any one of you guys want to come in? Because I'll wait to the end. I'm patient. Anybody wants to jump in, you guys can come in here and ask Roohif anything about this test that he's done. And of course, we got context, so it's against Jay Tolan's video, but he says, on his thumbnail,
Yeah,
it
his
says Epic doing it fucking properly. So
I have a question. Okay, if is that equipment working on Jay Tolan and it's okay, can we do that also on Santa Barbara, or in Croatia, in Italy, in UK? All that things, the same equipment, the same theodolite, and then we put the same things, we level that, and then we make the experiment again. No, experiment testing.
Yeah, theodolites are the most accurate thing we can use. Yeah, to measure elevation angles.
And why we have the horizon then in Santa Barbara 10 miles behind it?
You're talking about the oil rigs.
Yeah.
Black Swan. Yeah, I mean, do we want to talk about Black Swan? We can, but I mean, it seems a little bit off. From this.
Yeah. No, I'm saying if you put now your equipment, does that will change that observation?
No, you just get a very accurate measurement of whatever you're trying to measure.
Okay, that means that can we call that 10 miles flat there?
The Black Swan.
Yep.
No, yeah, unless you make a measurement.
I'm making measurement. It's a sea level. I see the oil rig. Oil rig is on 10 miles. You see the bottom of the oil rig. You see the water between the two oil rigs. Is it that water real? Yes, it is, because it's ocean. You see the water behind the oil rig. Second one, why? Because the oil rig is in the water, and that's the water. And then you see the horizon, and then you see the horizon behind there. Who knows where it is, because that is a apparent place. But the water, what making the horizon visible, it's still physical. It's not optical.
Okay, at the thing that I posted at 13 minutes past, where I posed the question to you guys.
Now my question is,
answering your question.
When you put your equipment, how that will change now the angles?
It's just measuring the angle. It's not going to change the angle. Right? But there's a reason.
That means that I will see again the 10 miles flat.
Depends on the day. Depends on the day. Depends on the gradient.
Sometimes I will see the 4 miles, but surely I will see also 10 miles.
Maybe. Depends on the gradient on the day.
Maybe. No, not maybe. It is there, and I saw it in my eyes. It's not maybe.
Okay, but the graphic that I posted at 13 minutes past, there is a reason why it says if I'm standing on the top of a mountain looking across to another mountain. And that reason is if you are looking over air that, for the most part, is a decent height above the surface, right? So it's not close to the surface. If you're looking through air that is above the surface, then refraction is quite predictable and stable. If you are looking at through air very close to the surface, like the black swan, then refraction is very unpredictable.
There is no refraction in black swan example.
I don't know how to respond to that. There is.
There
cranes.
It's cranes your eyes, isn't it?
I'm not speaking about cranes. Yeah, there it is. Distorted cranes. But there is no refraction doing anything with physicality of that water.
How do you explain a bent crane without light bending?
The bent crane has nothing to do with the physicality of water, what I see and experience with my eyes. And not only that, you can take a boat and you can see that boat will reach the second oil rig, you can travel there. And that water, it's real. Nothing is happening with that water, Only crane ups, they are distorted, They have nothing to do with the physicality of the water. And the physicality of the water has to do with the shape of the air, but the cranes has nothing to do with the shape of the air.
Okay. The crane is clearly distorted. Is that due to light bending?
Can I tell you what is the crane?
Yeah, is it due to light bending?
No, the crane is this. This is the big screen. Listen to me very carefully. Simple. It's very big white screen with written 6 point some miles. And second one, it's also big screen with written 9.2 miles. And now maybe that 9 miles written, it's bending, Letter.
Okay. Do you know what an inferior mirage is?
Do you understand me? I will translate you again. It's written big screen, white one, with the black letters, 9 miles. And that now letter, number 9, it's distorted, Do you understand me?
I understand you. I'm just asking, do you know what an inferior mirage is?
That's about oil rig. That is the number 9. It's distorted. Do you understand that? It's written there. Okay. Now we are speaking about physicality of water. There is nothing distorted there. There is real water. Do you understand that?
I hear you. Right. I'm asking, do you know what an inferior mirage is?
There is no inferior mirage there, because inferior mirage needs object on the horizon. There is a horizon itself.
Right. But do you know what one is, though?
There is only one horizon. In my life, what I experienced and learned, there is no 2, 3, 4, 7 horizons.
Okay. Do you know what an inferior mirage is?
Doesn't matter what it is, inferior mirage. There is a real physical water you can see.
I agree. There's physical water. Do you know what an
Do you
inferior mirage
agree
is?
that on the Black Stone example, it's water there behind the first
Yep.
oil rig?
Right.
Is that water physical or optical?
Physical. All physical.
Good. That means that is no drop over distance after 1.2 miles what should to be, you know?
Okay. Do you know what an inferior mirage is?
Do you know what the drop over distance is?
Yes, I've measured it. Do you know what an inferior mirage
if you
is?
measure
It's a
it, that
question
must...
that you're avoiding. Why are you
No,
avoiding
I'm
the question?
telling you, if you measure it there, it must be also here.
Right. And as I've said, my graphic at 13 minutes past specifically says if you're on top of a mountain, because I know that's where refraction is predictable.
That's all right. It's there. Now, if it's there, it must be also in Santa Barbara.
Right. But you're close to the water, right?
Right. We are
You're
close to the water
in Santa Barbara. Yes, refraction is unpredictable close to the surface.
Okay, tell me why people made globe Earth videos about how horizon work.
I don't know, because they wanted to.
They wanted to. And did you saw that video how horizon work?
I've seen lots of videos. Do you have a particular one?
The particular one, yeah. Type on the YouTube how horizon work.
I know how horizon works. I've made stacks of horizon measurements. Do you want to see one of my horizon measurements?
Okay, with 1 foot observer height, where should to be geometrical horizon?
Right. It could be anywhere, because when you are very close to the surface, refraction is unpredictable.
No, it cannot be anywhere. It must be there because that is the globe model, and you need to learn because you don't know what it's heliocentric model, what people claiming it is, what you should to see if you are if your eyes it's 8-inch above the sea level, you know.
Okay, I've just posted a photo in the chat of me taking a horizon measurement. I'm well above the surface. It's pointless taking these measurements so close to water because refraction is so unpredictable close to the surface.
Are you telling me that you are the person who are science communicator who are telling that there is no 1.22 miles, but they are saying that, but you are somewhere else who is more advanced science or whatever, but they still didn't publish your work, but we are learning about that 1.22 miles.
Yeah, 1.22 miles times the square root of observer height in feet is wrong. It ignores refraction. It's wrong.
Okay.
Hey, Sasha, whenever you're... Yeah, sorry guys. Whenever you're ready, Sasha, other people want to chime in. So I don't know if you want to get ready to.
Only to conclude. That means that what we learning in the school and that what we have the claim that what you can find on Google that math that 3959 that 1.22 miles it's wrong because he's saying and who are you?
Roohif.
It's Roohif.
Yeah, 1.22 is wrong. It ignores refraction.
I don't understand. Albert Einstein. Do you know who is Albert Einstein?
I do. Yes, I've heard his name.
I don't know you, man. Who are you?
That's Roohif.
I'm just a dude.
We've been saying it. He's just a regular guy.
He's saying, Miggy, that it's wrong, you know. But who is he?
Oh, I'm just a
regular
dude.
Guy.
Oh, okay. You're the guy from the street, like saying like a bullshit, like a. Ah, okay. Thank you.
Like a bullshit. Welcome, Sasha. All right. So if anybody else wants to jump in and add to whatever the conversation between Roohif and Sasha, you guys are welcome to do so. If there's some points that they brought up that you want to bring forward to Roohif, Roohif right now is going to stand for the claim that he just made. Obviously, he's saying he's measuring drop over distance with his theodolite. You know. Oh, by the way, there might be some leading questions about your equipment and stuff. So I don't know if anybody wants to jump in or words that you were used in the conversation with Sasha. But does anybody else want to talk to Roohif? If not, I will. I'm just waiting for anybody else.
Yeah, I just want to know what his claim is.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, measured drop over distance. So I go up on a mountain of known elevation, shoot to a mountain of also known elevation, and the predicted angle matches what I measure for a globe.
Is that after you've taken into account other things?
I've taken into account all that I think needs to be taken into account.
Right. So would that involve basically like post hoc, like drawing a target around? You've shot an arrow, and then you go and draw a target around the arrow to say that
I'll
you
go
hit
to
bullseye.
I'll go to any location. Well, sorry, I won't go to any location. I will bet any location from mountain to mountain, and you give me the elevations. I'll tell you what whoever will measure.
Roohif, who measured it first?
Who did this drop over distance measurement first? I don't know.
I'm not bothered
We've had
about
this
your
conversation.
We're not bothered about your conversation, about your measurement. Who did it first?
Yeah, I don't know. We've had this conversation. It's not a groundbreaking measurement.
So you
Why would it be
don't know.
recorded by history? Correct. I don't know who did it first.
So you've got no proof.
Interesting. Yeah, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and segue. Since this is being brought up, I'm just going to go ahead and take them through the 3 points that no Glober can pass. Unless anybody objects and you guys want to... I didn't want to have to do this, but we're segueing into it. One deck brought it up. So does anybody want to come in and
bring
talk
him
about what
into it?
Yeah, fire for effect.
But hang on a second.
No, go ahead, man.
We don't want that just yet, man. Roohif has brought some information that can be refuted solely on what he just been talked about. So if anybody wants to chime in before I go in with it, because I'm concerned about what he said in the conversation with Sasha, but not so much so that I want to get into that, because I know exactly where I want to go. But if you guys can refute him on anything that he said with Sasha, then you can do so right now. Other than that, I'm going to take him to the 3 points. So any objections?
Take him to the
only
3
that he
points.
threw. Yeah, only that he threw the Globe claim under the bus. That's all I got to point out.
Also,
Take him to the 3 points.
Yeah, just go through the 3 points. We can come back to that later.
All right. So it seems like I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then perhaps if there's any objections, if you guys are good with that, we can come back, circle back around to what he said with Sasha. It's just make a note of the points that if you had any objections, then you can talk to him about that after I do the 3 points. So we're going to find out right now, Roohif, is your baseline knowledge for the Earth being a globe with the 3 questions that are fundamental for the Earth being a globe and what props it up being a globe. There hasn't been not one single academic scholar that's passed this, not one single human that I've ever given this to. So you'd be the first if you're able to. How about that?
who decides who passes?
You do.
Okay, then I pass. I pass without answering the questions. Done.
All right, so let's go through the information, right? So the first question is going to be simply this. Who has ever measured directly the curvature of the Earth as per drop over distance?
Drop over distance. Me.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, anytime in history.
Me, yeah.
Okay, so only you.
I'm not saying only me. Like I said to One Deck several times, it's
right.
not exactly a groundbreaking measurement.
Well, it's not groundbreaking, so who's done it?
Me.
Other than you?
I don't know. It's not something that would be recorded by history.
Well, obviously, if it's a globe, Roohif, it would be.
No, the radius, as I said to One Deck several times, the radius has already been
worried about
known.
One Deck. We're not okay. So right now it's just you and I.
Yep.
That's it. So what we're concerned about is my conversation to you and your baseline knowledge. So if you have the information to support the claim that somebody's actually taken the drop over distance measurements, then you can go ahead and state it, and then we can get into the primary source from that citation, then a demonstration. Obviously, you got some bit of information to add to this, but what we need to establish is why you have this information in your mind in the first place to even state what you're claiming, right? So we're going to go into history because obviously somebody said it somewhere, right? So we're going to find out who did, and which is why you have the idea in your mind right now to do this measurement, let's say. So who has done it any time in history? So we're gonna figure this out, you and I, Roohif.
Yeah, it's not a measurement that would be recorded by history. It's trivial.
So nobody?
I don't know. I'm sure other people have done it. I've done it.
That's all. Thank you. That's all I needed. So I don't know is sufficient for me. Therefore, now we're going to get into a demonstration for you to tell me how have you measured drop over distance, because you don't know the first statement, which is like who has ever directly measured the drop over distance. Now we're going to get into how you measure drop over distance without any sufficient evidence that somebody's ever given you the inclination that they've ever measured it.
Yeah, I've
So
done
I don't
it.
know how
Yeah.
you're the only one on Earth right now
No,
that's ever
never
done
said I was
this.
the only one. I'm saying that this type of measurement is
Then
quite
tell
trivial.
me. Right, but okay, then if it's trivial, then tell me who else has done it.
I don't know. It's not something that would be recorded
so
by
we're back to
history.
you don't know.
Yeah,
So you don't
I'm
know.
fine.
You
I've
don't.
done it.
Well,
If you want to
we're
reject my
not
measurements, that's okay.
Well, I can hand wave dismiss it based on that you don't have any evidence that somebody else has done it.
He
I don't
doesn't
want to
does
do
know.
that.
someone else
However, I'm
have
going to
to
give you
do
the
it?
benefit of the doubt because otherwise, why would you do it?
Because I'm in the flat Earth
If you're
globe
not-
debate.
No, you're verifying information, right? So the information that needs to be verified is how they've actually done this in the first instance. So
Okay,
that's
let's
what we're
say
trying to
for
identify at
example,
the moment.
Let's say for sake of argument, I'm the first person to do it ever in the world. Will you look at my measurements now?
No.
No. Okay. Okay.
I need to know. Listen, I need to know why you even want to measure the Earth in the first instance.
We want proof.
Right, because I'm in the flat
trivial,
Earth
I
globe
need to know
debate.
why. That's
Because I'm in the
fine.
flat Earth globe
I
debate.
don't. Well, that's great. That's great, Roohif. That's great for you, right? Kudos to you. Now, why did you want to do it in the first instance?
I've answered that. I'm in the flat Earth globe debate.
So that's definitely not good enough. So
Okay.
nobody's done it. Nobody's done it in the history of the world, but you're going to be the first one to do it because you're in the
Sure.
flat Earth and globe debate.
Anything to avoid looking at the measurements is fine with me.
No, we're going to actually take a look at all the things that you presented because I haven't even broke into that yet.
Okay.
So
anyway, question two.
What we're stepping that in question 2 yet? Because question 1 is not sufficiently answered. You haven't done anything to demonstrate that in any time in history, drop over distance was measured, and also you don't know who's done it. And then you said it's trivial, and now we're going off on like you're just doing some kind of cowboy measurement because you're in a flat Earth and globe Earth debate. That's basically what you're telling me. It's unverified by anyone, and you are the one who verified it. Solely one human being on Earth who's ever done this, and everybody else has not done it.
Okay. So I failed question 1. Let's go to question 2.
Excellent. Question 2. So question 2 is the rotation of the Earth, axial rotation. They're telling us that the Earth is spinning on its axis at about 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. So now what we need to establish here is that because of the Earth doing such a thing, what is the naturally observed phenomenon of the Earth spinning? Can you tell me who's observed this and how they've measured the Earth to be spinning at that rate?
Or the naturally observed phenomenon that would lead me to making a hypothesis of the Earth spinning?
Go ahead.
Is that what you said? Yeah. Yeah.
No,
sunset.
No. Well, not just. Yeah. No. That's
Did
fine.
you not hear the question in the first place?
Yeah.
I heard it.
We're just going.
Heard it.
We're going back to like. Okay, so who, as in people or person or people, who's established, right, in history that the Earth is rotating on its axis, and what is their naturally observed phenomena of the Earth spinning on its axis to then concur that it is spinning on its axis? So we got to find out, because they're telling us that it's spinning at about 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. Someone somewhere has figured this out. So if you know that information to support the claim, then you can definitely advocate for it right now, Roohif. I'm going to allow you to.
Once again,
yeah, tell me.
You're going to history, and I'm going to say, for the sake of argument, let's say I'm the first person ever in the world to suggest that the Earth is rotating because I saw a sunset. That's my hypothesis, because I saw a sunset, that the Earth's rotating globe.
The Earth's rotating because of a sunset. What is the
my hypothesis?
Sure. But once again, I'm restating the question so you can understand the naturally observed phenomena of the Earth rotating. Where is that being observed? Are you saying, is that what you're saying with sunset? Okay.
Yeah, sunset leads me to make a hypothesis.
With sunsets, how are we seeing the Earth spinning?
It's a suggestion. Right? If I see a sunset, I can say, is the sun rotating around us or is the Earth rotating? I'll make a hypothesis and say maybe it's the Earth rotating.
Well, we're not observing Earth rotating.
No.
We're just saying we see the sun move across the sky, and you're making the assumption that the Earth is rotating.
Right. It's a hypothesis.
So it's an assumed understanding. It's not a naturally. We're not, me and you, when we go outside, we're not seeing the Earth spinning around.
Well, if you're suggesting that
Right.
my naturally observed phenomenon is the Earth rotating, phenomenon, sorry.
Right.
Yeah. If you're saying that my naturally observing phenomenon is the Earth rotating, then what's the next step? What's the next step to that? You're basically accepting that it's rotating, right?
The first step is to see the Earth rotating. So I'm asking you, where in nature do we see the Earth spinning?
Why is there a second step if you've already observed the Earth rotating?
Where do you see the Earth? Dude, you go outside and you said you see the sunset.
Yeah.
You see the sun moving across the sky. The sun is what's moving across the sky. The Earth isn't doing anything. So apparently,
I can still make a hypothesis.
But the base axiom of where you and I begin to make our observations, because we're naturally observing the sun. When we naturally observe the sun, we're seeing it move across the sky. Now, at what point are you starting to distinguish that it's not the sun and it's the Earth?
Right.
Because we don't make. You do. How do you mean you don't have to? You can't
just
say
see
that you
phenomenon.
see the Earth moving.
Yeah.
I see a phenomenon and I make a hypothesis, right? Newton supposedly.
No, it's not a hypothesis. It's an assumption. No, your assumption.
It's a presumption. It's a presumption.
But so what you're presuming to say is that the sun is moving across the sky, therefore the Earth is spinning. You know what we call that?
It's a testable hypothesis, yes.
You know what we call that, Roohif?
I know what you call it, and we're going to get into a fight, which Elijah
we're not going to get into a fight.
About.
We're not going to get into the reason why we're going to get into a fight, because you already know the route we're taking here. That's affirming the consequent.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
Because you're saying, form a logical syllogism out of it.
Okay, if the Earth is rotating, then I'll expect to see centrifugal force. That's not affirming the consequent.
No, you didn't say centrifugal force. You just added that little spicy comment there, and it wasn't centrifugal force. No. Say it like you would as if you're seeing the sun, because your stance right now is that you see the sun move across the sky, right?
Yeah.
So you have to form it with the sun being involved in that structure. So in a
if the Earth is rotating, the sun sets.
Yeah, and then now flip it backwards. The sun sets, therefore the Earth is rotating. That's exactly, because you have to. Otherwise, you can't come to the conclusion that the Earth is spinning unless if you affirm the consequent, which is what you just did.
Incorrect.
You are the one not stating it, but the end result is, the conclusion is that you are saying because you see a sunset, therefore the Earth is spinning.
No, I'm not. I'm saying it's a possible hypothesis.
I asked you, what is the naturally observed phenomenon of the Earth spinning? And you said sunsets. So your conclusion is definitely what I've been telling you. Yes, it is. You stated it.
No, it's not. I get to make would you like me to make my own logical arguments, please?
Stop saying
you didn't make it in the very first instance when I asked you what is the naturally observed phenomena. You went straight to the sunsets. Right. So where in that is a centrifugal force. You didn't involve
that's secondary, right? But if the Earth is rotating, then the sun will set, correct? That's not a fallacy to say that. No, it's not. It's a conditional. If the Earth is rotating, then the sun will set. Is that correct?
So when do you make that logical leap into that? When does that happen? How do you understand that it's connected to the Earth rotating?
Do you agree that if the Earth is rotating,
you're not answering my question. You have to answer my question. In order for you to stand firm on this is a true understanding of what the Earth is doing, then you have to be able to withstand the scrutiny that I'm giving you right now. So you're able to say that if it is the Earth moving around, then you're going to have to tell me how you went from the sun moving to now we know that it's the Earth that's moving. How did you go from that leap?
We're going to test that in a minute. That's the hypothesis, right? I haven't gone back and said if the sun sets, then
okay. So you're adding more. You're going to add more to it. Then it's not just the sunsets.
We'll get to this hypothesis test in a minute, right? But the hypothesis, my guess at why the sun sets is that the Earth is rotating. Wrong. My guess. Okay, that's my hypothesis.
Yes.
I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go as far as you want, man, because I'm interested. I already know the response, but I'm gonna humor you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Elijah's here. I hope Elijah's listening.
No, he is listening. He's pretty frustrated listening to you. But like, listen, go through the hypothesis test of how we understand it's not just the sun moving, because you started with sunsets, right? So now you're going to test if it's the Earth or the sun. So go ahead.
Yeah, so my hypothesis is we're on a rotating globe, right? So my hypothesis test, if the Earth is a rotating globe, then there should be centrifugal
You've
force.
just presupposed.
Presupposed what?
Oh, wait, say it again, Roof. I didn't hear you, man. There was...
Okay. If the Earth is a rotating globe, then there will be centrifugal force.
Okay.
Wrong.
Hold on, just... What the fuck?
Do you agree?
No, I don't
No
fucking
wonder
agree.
you-
What the fuck, dude? Like, how did you do
You
that?
don't agree there would be centrifugal force?
Bro, you pulled a rabbit out of a fucking hat, bro. What the fuck? Roohif?
Are you saying that there would not be centrifugal force in a rotation globe?
You've already said that sunsets don't prove the globe, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Right. There you go. So what actually does then? Let's talk about something that actually does prove the globe in your imagination.
When we get to the end of this, right, there will be a question about proof, right? Because Elijah's here. Elijah and I have had this very long
What do
conversation.
you mean get to the end of it? You've already admitted that the sunsets don't prove the globe, so why are you still talking
Roohif,
about
don't
it?
tell me. Roohif, don't tell me about
Because-
your conversation with Elijah. You guys had a different conversation than this one. It might have been similar, but I'm having one with you. So you fucking stay on the point, bro.
Okay.
Because like right now, you just logically leapt into oblivion with this shit. So
All right. So
Okay,
anyway,
so
do you agree that if the
Hypothesis
Earth is a
test,
rotating
dude.
globe,
no,
do
I
you
don't
agree that
fucking
if
agree with that.
No.
Right.
I don't
If
fucking
the
agree with
Earth
that, bro.
is a rotating globe, do you agree that there would then be centrifugal force?
That's a fucking hypothetical.
Exactly. It's a hypothesis.
Yeah, that's a
It's a
hypothetical. bro.
hypothesis. Exactly.
Hypothesis? What the fuck, dude? You're making shit up. You're just saying if the Earth was a globe, like nobody wants to think about it like that. You're trying to prove the information. Okay, you see a sunset, you're like, okay, I see the sun doing some shit. Now we're gonna get to how we know it's the Earth moving.
Yeah,
I don't
and
have
we'll
to
get to
think
the
of
point.
it, bro. Listen, I don't have to think of the Earth doing something like fucking. I have to think of it like a ball. Like fuck it, dude. Like you need to tell me how it's proven that the Earth is moving. Where am I
and
seeing
again,
the Earth doing that? Like I don't
We
see
will
that.
get to the
shit.
end,
I only see the
and it
sun
will be
moving.
science doesn't prove things.
I
Science
don't think
does
we'll
not
ever
prove
get
things.
to the end.
Science doesn't prove things.
Yes.
Roohif.
How are you gonna? And you're gonna prove that? Yeah.
Oh,
Lucas,
I
how
will
is
give
this-
you my
how is
video.
this the
I'll post my
level-
video.
how
Hold
is-
on.
How is this the level you're at after however many years you've been in this conversation that you can barely make an argument about the
Roohif,
sunset
I got me,
whilst
mate.
admitting that the sunset doesn't prove the globe?
Hang on.
I mean, this is
Roohif.
terrible.
Roohif.
For those people, for those people that think science does prove things, I've posted my
Roohif.
video in the chat
Roohif.
in
Roohif.
response to Quantum Eraser.
Fucking hell, mate.
Yeah, really quiet. There we go.
Now one deck has to be whispering probably because he doesn't want to get loud. It's people. There's people probably sleeping at one deck's place. So like go ahead. One deck. Did you want to whisper your comment? Because I know you can't speak loud. No.
I have
Guy's
questions.
got nothing.
No, hang on, Sasha. Bro,
Okay.
we're taking him through the 3 points. It's a struggle, I know, but Wolfgang's here.
Yeah.
So, all right. So your hypothesis test has failed because I have to now think of the Earth like some shit that I don't think of it like. And you wanted me to agree to that, which I'm not gonna, because you haven't provided any evidence for it to be that. Like, so we're
That
You're
is
seeing the
how
sunset.
hypothesis is tested. That's how science works.
I imagining shit.
Yes, if my hypothesis is true, then I expect to see some kind of result.
Roohif, you've been doing this shit too long, man. Why are you bringing this weak ass argument?
This
I
is
can't
how
believe
science
it. But
works.
listen, no, it's not, dude. That's how Roohif's idea of
How you
thinking how
very
science
manipulate
works,
the
dude.
spin of the Earth, man? How will
You
you
don't,
very
George.
manipulate?
We can't even get into that, George, because he's talking about you first have to imagine it. It's like fucking I don't want to imagine this shit.
So
This is
Roohif,
how
you're
science
saying
works.
you're saying that science hasn't proven the globe then.
Yeah, science cannot prove anything.
So the globe isn't proven. And isn't
Yeah,
scientific.
not scientifically. Correct. It is not scientifically proven.
Thank you.
So
Can we
just-
This is a guy that
just
and this is a guy that is bringing a hypothesis to the table, and he says
So-
science
so-
doesn't prove anything. My
some
God.
of your years in the globe Earth flat Earth discussion, you've come out with, well, yeah, the globe isn't scientifically proven. So all these people who come in and say,
Nothing is
"Hey, you
scientifically
science deniers," they don't have any science for the globe.
Hey, Jedi,
No,
hang
you deny
on.
the scientific measurements.
Roohif, hang on a second, man.
Scientific measurements. Wow.
Roohif, 1 second, Wolfgang. So, Jedi, check this out, man. You just came to the party, I know, but hopefully you got your tuxedo on right now because we got Roohif in the chat, dude. He's on the second question of the 3 questions. And from the looks of it, we have to imagine the Earth's a ball before we can get to the idea that he's making a logical leap from the sun moving across the sky to that the Earth is moving. So as for a naturally observed phenomenon of Earth spin, we haven't got that yet. We've got these presumptions that he's saying and this hypothesis test that he hasn't provided. So I don't know, man. Like, I think we're going to be struggling from this point on. So we're still trying to figure out where you made the logical leap from the Earth and the sun, right? Because we got to connect them to. We see the sun moving across the sky. How do we know the Earth's spinning around, Roohif?
Right, it's a hypothesis, right?
Yeah, but what did you test, bro? Like, what did you test?
We're getting to that.
Okay, all right. Well, you're kind of teasing me, bro. Like, I don't like teasing. Just get to the fucking meat and potatoes, bro. Like,
Okay, you guys are on this, the quantum eraser 4-step method of science, right? Quantum eraser is a big fan of Richard Feynman. I've posted Richard Feynman talking about the scientific method in the chat. He says you come up with a guess, right? And the audience laughs. The audience literally laughs in the clip. And he said, no, this is exactly how you do it. You make a guess, you work out what the consequences would be, and then you go and test those consequences. So if you want to take that to QE and discuss it with him, that'd be great.
Give a shit. Sorry. Couldn't give a shit about QE, mate.
Okay.
That's kind of a straw man. Don't give a fuck about that.
Mayhem is clearly following the QE.
Hold on. So you can remove that idea. Right? You can remove that idea and stop building your straw man. We want a direct measurement of the Earth movement. Go.
Yep. Okay. If the Earth is a rotating globe, then I expect to measure centrifugal force. I go out into reality and I do measure centrifugal force consistent with an Earth rotation.
Therefore, the Earth is a ball. Hold on. That's an affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy.
No, you said
that's affirming the consequent formal logical fallacy.
You said
hold on, man. I'm not feeling very well, so give me a second. You're literally building a formal logical fallacy.
No,
right?
you did.
Hold on. You have to prove the first instance that the Earth is a ball. If the Earth is a ball, I would expect to see this. Oh, I see this. Therefore, the Earth must and can only be a ball.
You.
What do you mean? That's me. That's a formal logical fallacy. It's literally
you're making a formal logical fallacy.
No, I'm just pointing out. I'm just pointing out yours. Can you say it again for the audience?
I didn't say it. I didn't say therefore the Earth is a globe. You did.
Wait. So Roohif, you're not saying that the sun's a globe.
My God. Say what you said 10 seconds ago.
Right. If the Earth is a rotating globe, I expect to measure centrifugal force. I go out into reality and I do measure centrifugal force. That is consistent with the Earth being a rotating globe. No, you are saying therefore.
Logical fallacy. Would you like me to say it for you?
You keep saying therefore the Earth is a globe. You are putting words in my mouth that I am explicitly telling you I am not saying. Stop putting words in my mouth.
Say it again for the audience.
If the Earth is a rotating globe, then I expect to measure centrifugal force. I go out into reality and I do measure centrifugal force. That is consistent with a rotating globe.
Excellent. So it's a logical fallacy. I don't understand how we're fucking getting this.
It is consistent.
I told him that Jedi earlier, bro.
Listen, hold on, 1 second. Roohif,
please tell me, Jedi. No, Jedi.
Hold on. Either way you slice this, it's no good. Either you're committing a formal logical fallacy, or you're saying something that you're agreeing doesn't actually prove the globe, when we're asking for something that proves the globe.
Okay, did I say, therefore the Earth is a globe?
No.
That's a
no. So you're not saying it proves the globe. So you're not saying it proves the globe.
Did I also say science doesn't prove things?
And he
You
did
know what?
say
Don't
that.
misquote me. I'm careful with my words here.
So, you know the first premise that if the Earth is a globe,
Yes.
have you proven that to be true?
No, it's my hypothesis.
That's not a hypothesis then, so you got a bit of a
Yes, it
problem.
is.
So you are, hold on, you are begging the question.
No,
This is a
Eli.
hold on. This is a begging the question if the Earth is a ball, formal logical fallacy.
Okay,
So
Jedi.
have you, hold on, I haven't finished. Can you demonstrate a direct measurement of the ball first, please?
Okay, it's not a begging the question fallacy.
Can you demonstrate your first premise, please, that the Earth is a ball with a direct measurement? Please don't make me throw up all over you. I'm not feeling very well, so just fucking entertain me. Give me a direct measurement of the R value first in your
I'm
begging
going to ask you a question at the risk of being kicked out. At the risk of being kicked out.
I'll tell you what, you will get kicked out if you don't answer my question. How about that? I'll do it for you, you cunt.
Okay, all right.
All right, so how about you just fuck off now?
You kick me out, ban me.
Just fuck off. Just fuck off.
Okay.
Go on, piss off.
No, you have to kick me out.
Okay, no problem. See you later. Bye.
See ya.
Because you're not going to answer my question, are you?
You're accusing me of begging the question.
You're not going to
I'm
answer
not.
my question, are you?
You're
So,
accusing me of
if you're
begging
not-
the question.
you're not
I'm
begging the
not
question.
begging the question, and I'm going to
Excellent.
demonstrate to you that I'm not begging the question. Would you like to kick me out?
I would like a question for the fifth time. I would like a direct measurement of drop over distance curvature of the Earth, please.
Okay, I've done that earlier in the chat. You can scroll back up.
No, you can give it to me now.
Okay, I'll
You
post
said
my
that
video.
you wanted to. You said that you a video. Can you speak about it?
Sure. I go to the top of a mountain or a high place, shoot a theodolite over to another point of known elevation, make a prediction for both flat Earth and globe as to what angle I will measure, and the measurements are consistent with the globe prediction.
There's a globe. What do you mean consistent with a globe? You haven't proven the globe yet.
Yeah, science doesn't prove things.
Hold on, science wouldn't be the fucking tool. Hold on,
Can you please expose the absurdity of saying that already?
Why? Science wouldn't
If
be
he
the tool.
science, and then he says that science doesn't prove things, then by his own line of reasoning, he failed to prove and cannot prove his conclusion. Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yep.
Correct. Science doesn't prove things.
Right, so then you did not successfully prove your conclusion. Thank you for saying you failed to prove your conclusion. Thank you.
Yeah, take that soundbite, post it everywhere. Science doesn't prove things. I even posted my video.
Is this thing on? What are you trying to do? Convince us to believe what you believe? Is that what you're here for?
One deck brought me here
Because
to
you
show
said you can't
measurements.
prove anything, right?
Right.
So are you trying to convince us to believe what you believe?
You should be convinced
Because
by
you don't
measurements that
know,
are
because you
consistent
haven't
with globe,
proven
yeah.
anything, so it must be a belief. So you must be here to convince us to believe along with you.
I have surpassed my own level of subjective.
Being a cunt.
Who was that? Who was?
Don't worry about it.
That was funny, man. Anyway,
So I guess, so it's like you're just conceding that you can't prove the globe, right?
Correct. I've posted my video at 49 minutes past.
End of video, like end of debate.
Yeah.
You failed to prove your conclusion. Thanks. You don't know that the Earth is a ball flying in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Yeah, you believe it.
I've posted my video at 49 minutes past, right? So it's in response to Quantum Eraser saying that science doesn't
What
prove
gives a
things.
shit about quantum eraser?
Okay.
What does that matter when we expose the absurd implications of your premise?
Okay, I'll finish the sentence. He brought up 3 citations of science educators saying science doesn't prove things. Since he brought
you
those
must
up,
really like him, Roohif. You must really like QE.
I
man.
love
You're
QE.
just on it.
I love him.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, with that being said, if that is true, you cannot prove your conclusion to be true. Thank you for conceding you don't know your conclusion is true.
No, I've exceeded my own threshold.
Okay, what does that
what I
mean
consider
for us?
That retort is meaningless.
Oh, to you, of course. Yeah.
To the whole world.
You believe the story.
You guys should accept the model that explains all the observations.
That retort does nothing to refute my reductio ad absurdum your position.
The horse shit's too fucking deep right now, dude.
Hold on, can I just say, but Roohif, remember, you're telling us to abandon observable reality in favor of your belief that you just said you can't prove.
Yeah, science doesn't prove things. You should accept.
Okay, so then you fail to prove your conclusion is true. We're not moving past this point. This is the sophistry that infuriates me.
So you reject observable reality based on a belief that you can't prove?
No, I don't
Yeah,
object.
because you experience a flat, motionless Earth.
I don't experience a flat Earth.
So when you go to the beach, and you see the horizon, is it a straight line or a curved line?
It would be a straight line at the beach on either model.
So flat.
So it's it would be a straight line. It would be a straight line on either model if you're at the beach.
So you observe it as flat either way.
It's indistinguishable. So I don't therefore conclude that it's flat.
What do you mean it's indistinguishable? Like flat
even if you argue that way that it's indistinguishable, if it's indistinguishable, then you cannot know that you live on a ball and not a flat surface. Thank you.
From looking at the beach, Gregory.
So
I'm at the beach. I can't distinguish.
What do you mean? What do you mean the straight line is indistinguishable?
If I'm at the beach, the horizon will be a straight line, irrespective of the shape of the Earth.
So you agree that you experience it to be flat, regardless of what it is?
If I'm at the beach, yes. But if I go up on a mountain, like I've been talking about,
so you're telling us to deny.
No, not
you're telling us to deny that experience in favor of your belief that you said you can't prove that it's a ball.
I don't get my globe belief from standing at the beach looking at the horizon. I go and do a test
because
that distinguishes between the two.
How could you get a globe belief from
I don't experience it as flat.
You just said you did.
At the beach, yes, because the horizon would be flat either way.
Okay, we don't need to go in circles on this point.
Yeah, it's indistinguishable. It's not a good test. It doesn't tell you anything.
No. But it's where you start because you're telling us to reject that experience in favor of your belief that you said you can't prove.
I'm telling you that if you're at the beach looking at the horizon, that doesn't tell you anything.
It does tell us something.
It doesn't.
It doesn't tell us anything. Are you on drugs, bro?
What are you, a Hindu? Do you believe in Maya? Reality is illusion?
So, our sensory perception of a flat horizon, it doesn't tell us anything. It does tell us something. Now, you might not like the conclusion. No, it does tell us something. It tells us that the horizon looks flat. Now, you might not like the conclusion that it looks flat, therefore it is flat. You might not like that conclusion, but it does tell us that. Now, you might be able to conceptualize all sorts of freaking giant shapes that you might be on. Pineapples, pretzels, squares, spheres, whatever, eggs. It's so large that it just looks flat. You can conceptualize any shape in your head and rationalize why it's actually some other shape. But the sensory experience is that it's flat. You're not out there going, man, this looks like a giant ball. That never
It's an a priori theory which you superimpose on the empirical data that you experience. It's not that you actually directly detect with your empirical senses that the Earth is a ball, or that it's spinning, or that it's flying around in a vacuum.
If you're at the beach on a globe, the horizon will look flat. It doesn't.
No, not repeat that. What we just said. No, not repeat what you just said. What we just said. That's not that tactic ain't gonna work.
Horizon doesn't tell you anything about a curve, does it?
At the beach, it doesn't know.
But when you go
to either way,
sorry, but when you go to a mountain, you can see curvature. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that will distinguish between globe. Hold on. So left to right curvature from the top of a mountain. What happens if you turn around 45 degrees? Hold on. What happens if you turn 45 degrees? Do you see that curvature then? What happens if you turn another 40? Hold on. Another 45. I'm talking about left to right curvature, you fucking imbecile. You notice that at every increment that you turn around 360 degrees, you see that curvature, right? So if you try and join all of those lines up, you've got a wibbly wobbly fucking line, you bloody retard. Right, that's a problem for you guys.
No, that's a problem.
It's not at all a problem for our position, because that's not what we empirically detect.
It is. Let me.
So are you saying?
Let me get through this.
Are you saying the horizon turns curved when you go up a mountain?
Yeah, the left to right horizon curve is a function of height and field of view.
So you think you see left to right curve on the top of a mountain?
Yeah, yes, and you guys should accept that to be the case.
This is why we should kick you out right now, because you're a fucking imbecile.
Yeah,
you're a fucking imbecile. Hold on. You see the image? You see the image in the live stream of somebody doing a 360-degree pan? You prick. Yeah, fucking prick.
What's your evidence that it curves when you go up a mountain, Roohif?
No, I'll explain why you guys should accept that it must.
No, don't explain. Show me the demonstration. Show me the curve at the top of the mountain.
Oh yeah, the what's his name? Rory's Horizonator 3000.
What the fuck is that?
He got like some.
You globies are so lame. The Horizonator 3000. Show us
it's a
the
facetious
curve
name, right?
at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, I don't have it to hand, but he basically set up two.
So it's a cool story.
Yeah, I just don't have it to hand. I can explain it to you if you like.
Listen, if everyone was going up a mountain and seen a curve, there would be millions of images ready to hand. Why do you not have one?
Would you like me to Google it for you in the meantime?
Yeah, go and get the photo of the curved horizon and show us the elevation. All that. Give us the information for your claim.
Okay. If the Earth was flat or a ball, you would have a 360-degree view around you, and that would be flat. You fucking imbecile.
No. The reason you guys should accept horizon curve is because of the fact yes, you should, right?
Have you got the information there for us?
I will explain it to you. Okay.
No. Show me. There should be millions of pictures.
I'm trying to find Rory's, right? But do you guys accept that the horizon
does it have to be this one guy? Is it only Rory that's climbed a mountain?
It's the one guy that I know of that did this.
The one guy who's climbed a mountain and took a picture. He's the one guy that climbed a mountain and took a picture.
He set up a specific apparatus that had straight.
So he had a very specific apparatus to show what apparently everyone should just see normally. Why did he need special apparatus?
It's very slight.
Oh, it's very slight now. Well, how slight is it?
Well,
is it distinguishable to the naked eye?
Probably not, actually.
Oh, right. So when you go up a mountain, you don't see curve, like you said.
No,
so you just lied.
Jedi said when you go up a mountain you can see curve. I said you can measure drop. No, I did not. Don't put words in my mouth. Don't put words in my mouth. I said going up a mountain you can measure drop over distance.
No, you just said you can see left to right curve going up a mountain, you liar.
No,
you said you can see left to right.
Rory did.
That was earlier.
You just said right there when Jedi asked about left to right curve, and I asked about it to clarify. You said yes. And then you said it's very slight. There's one guy called Rory who climbed a mountain and he took a picture and he saw that it was curved, but no one else can see it. And you can't see it with your naked eye, despite just saying you went up a mountain and saw it. So you're a liar, Roohif. And it's all recorded, and it's pathetic, and it's sad.
This is the unnecessary communication disruption that we get when people are insistent on smugly insisting their position because they refuse to turn off their pride and just accept the truth as it is so patently manifest.
Yeah, but look how beautifully he just exposed himself as an outright liar.
I want to point this. I want to point this out to the audience. This guy Roohif has been on this topic for 5 years, and he's saying that you can see left to right curve from the top of a mountain, or he did say that. Now, nobody in the science that doesn't prove anything even believes that either. So I don't know where this shit's coming from. This is like one of the high schoolers that come in here. This is sad.
You would think someone
serious,
who's so
dude.
educated.
I'm trying to keep it real, man. Like, he's been around long enough that, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, because just along in tandem with that point, you would think someone who's so educated and has been in the discussion for so long would have something better than self-defeating premises that just explode his own position for us. Science doesn't prove things.
He just lied. He just said he saw the curve up a mountain, but now he can't see it. There's only one guy called Rory who's climbed a mountain with special apparatus that can see it. Where's that information, Roohif?
All of the propaganda that we've received our entire lives about science, and you have to have science. Science proves things. I'm not going to believe anything unless it's scientifically proven, blah, 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 blah. And then when it's time to finally prove one of the most essential doctrines in the worldview that is taught by the institution, the very method that they exalted for decades upon decades upon decades doesn't actually fucking prove anything. And I'm not supposed to be frustrated at that?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like the 2023 globe earthers are just pissing in the face of the 2020 or 2017.
That's disgusting. That is satanic. Yes, I said satanic.
I don't know what it is, man, but it's freaking not a good look, man.
It's just
it's like, well, I mean, think about, like, we talk about this, and I hate to actually talk about him when he's just sitting there freaking muted, but whatever. After what he just said, that absurdity. Like, it's like 2017. Like, dude, you're talking about seeing curve from the top of the mountains based upon some freaking weirdo anti-flat earther named Rory that did some test goddamn 5 years ago. Jesus Christ, man. You can't, like, you need to update your shit or something, man.
To really believe that holding a theodolite in front of your eyes and misaligning it with whatever object that you're not focusing on in the distance, to really think that that proves curvature, that's asinine. That's what little children do with their finger, saying, "I'm squishing your head."
That's some kids in the hall.
Can we quickly talk about how he set up the theodolite?
Holy Jesus Christ! That
he got
picture,
it wrong.
That picture is supposed to be curvature of the horizon.
Yeah, he's using that fucking table set up next to the horizon. That's like a 5-year-old debunked image, and that's still what he's on. This is sad.
Oh my Lord! No, he didn't. No way! No way. Well, I know someone just did this on Twitter, so I have like 2 days ago, because this is just nonsense, right? So let me show you something. I'll just post it. God damn. Wow. What? People are like, why don't you let these flat earthers in there? Like, oh, because they're stuck in 2017 and we want to move on.
If that's curvature, then the ball's really small.
Who proved curvature? A guy called Rory on Metabon. Who proved rotation? A guy who didn't believe in the globe called Bob Nodell. Seriously, you globies need to get it together.
I just posted. Wait, hold on. I'll find it.
So nobody in history has ever measured the curvature of the Earth, but Roohif has measured it.
Roohif did.
The Roohif.
By simply aligning a theodolite in the distance to some object in the distance.
Doesn't prove anything.
Is just citing Rory, who didn't actually prove anything because you can't prove anything, but it's good enough for Roohif.
It's really not good enough for him. It's not good enough for him because tomorrow he'll be here again. He didn't even convince himself, but he's trying to convince you to accept his bullshit, but he doesn't accept it.
By this line of reasoning with the theodolite supposed operation, all I have to do is just move the theodolite under the line that is the horizon, and now the Earth is concave.
Yeah, well, I asked him originally, like, what is the claim exactly? Because he just says, oh, drop over distance. Right, okay, drop over distance. And?
All right, and fill in the blank. All this could be avoided if people would just stop being so smug and prideful and inert. You want to talk about inertia?
Well, it's a special technique on how you set these things up as well, because even if it's digital or analog, they need to be calibrated to make sure the level is actually level, because they get bumped around. So what you have to do is, when you're setting it up, you have to set the target, the initial target, which, it shouldn't be that far away, and then you have to set up a target in the middle. And then you have to adjust your theodolite to line up the two targets. So the error, even over 200 meters, your error, even when you're setting it up level, can be, in the range of from 0 to 30 millimeters. This is on foundations. So, 30 millimeters doesn't really matter over 200 meters on a foundation, because you'll change it with, your building stuff like your bricks and stuff like that. But for him to say that he's measuring a point 100 kilometers away at the top of a mountain, that's not what they're made for. How do you determine what the top of the mountain is and the line that you have?
So, I can't believe he posted that shit, man. That's embarrassing, bro.
Can I just mention something? Because what he did, he denied the globe. He denied the model already, because his conclusion is that from the beach, looks flat. So it's not blocking the bottom of boats and buildings anymore. It looks flat. On his opinion, it only curves if you go up the mountain.
Dropped out.
Eli is trying to point our attention to something.
Yeah, the elephant in the room. Yeah.
We can bring him back.
I'd like to point out what he said. He said that you can't determine where the horizon is. You remember that in the beginning? Sasha was talking to him. I'm sure, Sasha, you remember that, right?
With the black swan, yeah.
No, he said, period, you can't determine where the horizon is. It wasn't a partial claim.
Oh, okay.
And what he's saying is, quote unquote, logically correct when he says it's consistent with, right? So, it's a meaningless statement. It's a meaningful qualifier. So you can just say, it's like PR bullshit, right? So you can say something without actually saying anything, taking a position. Right? So, I want to determine if someone is male or female. Well, they pee. Well, that's consistent with being a female. It doesn't mean anything. It's also consistent with being a male. So it can be consistent with this, that, or the other thing. It doesn't mean anything because it doesn't exclude other things.
All right, so he's back. Was Timbo? Did you want to ask him a question?
Yeah, I just want to know. So with your model theodolite that you've got, they're actually made for building sites. Yeah. So they have an arrow over a certain distance, and then is yours set up with a bubble or is it set up with an automatic leveling system?
Both. There's a bubble that gets you in range of the compensator, then the compensator takes over at I think it's 5 arc minutes or something like that.
Yeah. How often do you get that calibrated?
Once a year.
Once a year?
Yeah.
How often do you use it?
Not that often, no. I only use it for flat earth shit, so it's, yeah.
Okay, that's even worse. The more you use it, the better it is.
I wouldn't say that.
So your error, well, do you use these professionally or not?
No.
Okay, so you don't know that much about them.
I know that they measure angles. I know how to use it. Just because I don't use it professionally.
Do you know what angles they measure and what for?
They measure angles to anything. Horizontal angles, vertical angles. Yeah.
Well, they're specifically built for construction, so...
Not necessarily.
Yes, they are. That's what they were made for.
They're used to do surveying of... Yeah, they do geodetic surveying as well.
Surveying for?
For mapping the country.
Surveying for construction.
No, for mapping the country. That's another thing you can use it for.
Map the country with theodolites, but anyway.
Yes,
so what you do is, right? If you don't have them calibrated properly, that tiny little bit is going to throw you off. Now, this can throw you off even in 200 meters if you're not leveled properly, which you need a stick in the middle to actually work out from your target if you're leveled properly. Now, this is in the setup techniques in the instruction manuals. There's 20 points that you have to go through in the setup to make sure you are accurate. Did you go through the 20 points?
No.
So how do you know that you were accurate?
I do the proper setup. So I set it up. I get my
20 points.
No, not every time. No.
No.
I zero out my front face and back face. Second.
Do you know what the 20 points are?
Oh, not off the top of my head. No. I've seen them.
You don't do it every time, but you don't know what they are.
No, and I guarantee you that no survey goes through the 20 points.
Man. I guarantee they do because there is a list and you have to fill out a form with the 20 points on what time you did them, what was your error, and then you have to go after you take the data and you have to do it again. And then this gets registered with the surveying.
Okay, I'll post it in the chat at 19 minutes past.
It's not a simple thing to do, mate. You have to be accurate. And this is only over 200-300 meters. And then they walk down the road and set it up again. They don't do mountains in the background.
Okay. First of all,
for 100 kilometres away.
Okay.
That's insane,
First of all,
man.
I've posted in the chat at 19
But
minutes
what-
past.
I want to know what was the elevation difference in angle.
Okay, you've claimed 5 minutes ago that they only use theodolites for construction. I've posted
Well, that
in the
was what
chat.
they were originally built for. So
Okay, but you said they were only used for construction.
no,
I've
I
posted
said
in the
that
chat
was
at
what they
19.
were built for.
But they were
said
built
that's what
for
they were built
surveying the country as well.
They were
Okay.
built
Do you
for
agree that they are?
construction, and then they use them for surveying.
Okay.
But they don't measure curvature of the planet,
Yes, they do.
do they?
In
No,
fact,
they
this
don't.
survey that I'm pointing to here did
Okay,
measure
what's
the
the angle
survey.
difference? What was the angle difference?
The angle difference. What do you mean?
Well,
In what?
what are you measuring? Tell us what you're measuring. Go
Okay,
through it and
so
explain it.
The thing that I've posted here is my slide of spherical excess.
I'm not looking at the screen, mate. Just explain it.
Okay. All right. So this is a survey of Utah in 1927. They had massive theodolites.
Your measurements.
Say again?
Your measurements.
My measurements up in California. Yep. Okay. Yep. So I measured the vertical angle between 2 points of known elevation and known distance.
An angle?
Yep. I made
elevation angle?
Yep. Made predictions for what that angle is.
That flat baseline?
Oh, Jesus. The surface of the Earth is not the reference point or the reference line for an elevation angle. Okay.
Really?
The reference.
What is the base?
The baseline of an elevation angle, the reference for an elevation angle is horizontal. It is perpendicular to plumb.
Yeah, no shit.
What is horizontal? What is being horizontal?
Yeah, perpendicular to plumb.
Perpendicular to plumb?
Yes.
Like that's a relationship between objects, right? What are the two
It's
objects?
a relationship between down. Yeah, down. Hang a plumb bob.
Down to what?
Something to the Earth.
The Earth. So not the Earth, the Earth.
Down points down, right? You construct something.
Right, down to the Earth, right?
Right.
Right. So not the Earth, the Earth.
What are you talking about?
God damn.
Would it not be your feet and the base of the mountain?
You hang a plumb bob.
Earth is the baseline. Right? Down to the Earth, the baseline.
No, perpendicular to down.
No. But you just said, yes, the Earth.
No. Oh,
it's so good.
Do you understand the difference?
Yo, everybody else whose attention I've been trying to grab around this point right here. What's wrong with what I posted?
Okay, very simple question for you.
I'm not talking to you, Roohif. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm about to go back on mute. I just don't understand what the clusterfuck chicken heads cutoff is going on in here.
Yeah. Can I, if the Earth is a globe, can I hang a plumb bob? Will it point down?
All right, down to what?
No.
Down to the Earth.
The answer's no.
I can't hang a plumb bob on a globe.
Not on a globe. No, curb line.
I can't hang a plumb bob.
Plumb lines curve on the globe, dude. Plumb lines curve in the geodetic surveying.
So does anyone want to correct Indio? Is it possible to hang a plumb line on a globe?
You got your answer. Why are you just...
Yes, but your plumb line is supposed to be curved on a globe.
No, plumb lines are not curved.
Oh,
plumb lines
really?
Point straight. Yeah.
Yeah,
plumb
I know
lines
that
go
in
straight
reality
down.
that's what happened. I know that in reality that's what's happened. In the geodetic surveying, plumb lines curve.
No, they don't. Plumb lines are not parallel.
No, they don't. Okay, so plumb lines curve, dude.
They
I'm
don't,
gonna show it to you.
curve. Plumb lines are straight.
They do. Yeah,
He's gonna show
plumb lines are straight.
He's gonna show you. Relax.
Yes, I agree with you. Yes, I agree.
Relax.
Plumb lines are straight. But in the globe model, they curve.
What the hell? Where is that from?
Go to the live stream voice text, Roohif. They posted it there for you.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I just gotta find it.
What do you mean that's ridiculous? I think he posted it
Ridiculous.
in the
I know it's ridiculous. So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
It is
I
absolutely
reject.
ridiculous.
I reject that plumb line.
I reject. He's like, fuck, I reject it. It's incriminating. No, fuck that.
Yeah.
I reject it.
Yeah. Plumb lines hang straight down. The end.
He rejects the globe model.
He rejects it.
Do you think?
Welcome to flat Earth, man. Like, what the hell?
Okay.
He's throwing it all under the bus, man.
Yeah. Plumb
That's a
lines hang
double.
straight down. Does anyone disagree that plumb lines hang straight down?
What are you talking about? Look at the diagram I just posted. That curved line is the plumb line.
So you accept everything on that page?
What do you mean do I accept? It's your fucking model.
Right.
Yeah, no, only the globe
I
heads
reject that
accept
part.
it, Roohif.
Yeah.
Welcome to
I think that's ridiculous.
So then how are you using geodetic surveying? Like, what are you talking about they're using a geodetic survey? This is what geodetic surveying has to do.
Do we agree that plumb lines hang straight down?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So they're straight. Excellent.
Yes.
Is it theoretically possible to hang a plumb line on a globe?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
But it's curved.
Okay. It's not curved. I disagree.
It's
That's
curved.
No. Do you think it's curved?
No, but your model does.
Okay.
It requires it. So
No,
you're
it
going to
doesn't.
cite elevations that are based. That thing you posted earlier, that 1920, the NAD 1927, that's based on the Clark ellipsoid. They have curved plumb lines, deflection of the vertical, all that shit. That's how they found their elevations, right? Because they have the geoid, right? And then they have the reference ellipsoid, which is the Clark model, right? And then they find the orthometric height. That's what you're using for elevation, right?
We agree, you and I, Indio, that
Yeah, why
plumb
don't you
lines
just
hang
answer the
straight down.
question? Why don't you just answer the question, man?
Yeah, I reject.
What are you using for elevation? Because you're going to give us an angle, and you already gave it like the flat Earth prediction based upon what? Based upon a quote unquote known elevation, known how, measured how, measured based upon geodetic surveying in a reference ellipsoid, which assumes that the vertical plane is not parallel to some other vertical plane, right? And then they correct
You and I agree that plumb lines hang straight.
Roohif, you're just asking, you're repeating yourself at this point. We're trying to address the actual part that's in contention. You're waving past it.
Right.
Yeah, well, plumb lines do hang straight because
yes, plumb lines point straight down in reality. Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah, in
okay, that would
reality.
be the case on a globe. We agree. You and I agree.
Incorrect.
No,
No,
it
we
would
don't
not be
correct.
the
That's
case
the part
on a
that's in
globe.
contention, Roohif.
Okay.
It would not be that way on a globe.
I think
That's what the geoid is. Have you ever seen potato Earth, bro?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I think plumb lines
Why
hang
does that
straight
exist?
because of differences in density of the Earth.
Okay, that means a deflection of the plumb line, right?
Okay, but do they still hang straight?
No, it's a deflection of the plumb line.
They don't hang straight.
Not in your model.
I don't know where to go.
How many times are you going to ask again?
Of course you don't, man. Of course you don't know where to go from here because you have to throw your own model under the bus
But
to make an argument.
You think on a globe and I hang a weight from a string, it's going
how
to
many times
curve?
are you going to ask it, Roohif? You've got your answer.
He says
post
no.
Post a citation for what you're saying because we posted a citation. We're saying that you heard. Citation.
Let me be perfectly
What
clear.
you're effectively saying
is you don't have a citation.
It's not what I'm saying. It's what they're saying. This isn't my claim. This is the globe claim.
You spent all this time triggered over flat Earth. You never learned the globe. Now you got to reset and learn what you think is true, and then test it. You're going to end up at a flat Earth anyway, homie.
So, I recommend a reading would be Use and Abuse of Deflection of the Vertical, written by Featherstone, which is out of Australia. So, they've measured deflections as great as 0.71 degrees. So, it's in order to quote unquote map it to an ellipsoid, that plumb line has to intersect that reference ellipsoid at 90 degrees, right? But if the plumb line's deflected, that can't happen, right? It's intersecting at an angle. So they curve the plumb line to get this to work because they have to preserve distances.
Okay. I understand that diagram now, at how that line is deflected. Right. My question is a little bit different. If I hang a weight on a string on a globe, will it be straight?
You've already asked this.
Maybe. It'll look down to you, but it could be deflected.
Sure, but it would still be down. That would be the down, right? Whatever direction it's pointing would be down. Would it be straight?
Look, all I can say is what they say. Oh, yes. Listen, in reality, if you hang a plumb line, it points straight to the ground perpendicular to wherever that spot is. Unless it's like a slope or something, then obviously it can't be absolutely perpendicular to that. But it points straight down.
Yes,
and then 180 degrees from that is a horizontal line.
90 degrees.
At that point. But only at that point.
Yeah. But we have a straight hanging weight on a string. Right? I now understand this diagram better. So I understand that, yes, that line is deflected, right? But the simple fact of hanging a plumb bob, that string will be straight, regardless of which direction it's deflected or whatever. It will be straight. Okay?
No.
That can happen. No?
No. It'll follow this line. So when you get the horizontal line, right, when you take your horizontal, you're going to be tilted down or tilted up, depending on whatever way it's deflected.
Right, but that string will be straight on a globe, right? I understand the diagram now that the plumb
it'll be straight
line
on a flat Earth. It'll be some fucked up shit on a globe.
Okay, what you are then effectively saying is that
not what I'm saying, dude. Good try though. It's not what I'm saying.
Yep, I haven't gotten to the second half of the sentence. Right? What you are
because it's not what he's saying. It's the citation.
I don't need to get to your second half because your premise is faulty. It's not what I'm saying. It's what they're saying. I am quoting them.
I understand that you've quoted, Donato's posted that in the chat, and I understand the diagram.
I'm not quoting. Okay. Well, I also posted words too. Did you read the words?
You posted words? Hold on.
Yeah, curvature of the plumb line. Deflection of the vertical changes with position along a curved plumb line.
Yep, understand that.
Okay.
Right. Okay. That is different, right? I can understand now that there may be density, big mountain next to you, whatever, and that as you go down further, the direction of down might change. Understand that. Okay. I'm asking a very, very simple question. If I hang a plumb bob,
how many times are you going to ask, Roohif?
I already answered it. Yes.
You've repeated this like 10 times now.
Well,
you just don't like the answer.
On a globe, will that string be straight?
No, Jesus Christ!
What the hell, Roohif?
So then, what you are saying is that if I hang a weight on a string and the string is straight, that is proof of the no. Indio is saying that if I hang a weight on a string and the string is straight, that is proof of the globe because it contradicts the globe. Proof of flat Earth. Sorry.
No, I never said that.
That is your argument, though, because
it isn't my argument.
Cannot be straight. It cannot be straight on a globe. Therefore, the Earth is flat.
No, I'm saying that the claim that a plumb line is perpendicular to the ground is not the actual globe claim.
Okay, I understand the difference
observed in reality.
Yeah, this plumb line, like as you go down, it might deviate, right? It might point different directions if you hang a plumb line there. As I've said, I'm asking a different question. I'm talking about the current globe model. If there was some other globe model available, then maybe it would point down. But in this globe model, as it currently exists, the WGS-84 ellipsoid, the Clark ellipsoid, the Bezel ellipsoid, going back to the 1700s, it doesn't exist in those models. Okay, I'm asking a different question to what is in these diagrams. Okay, I'm simply asking if I hang a weight on a string on a globe, will that string be straight?
This is like the 15th time you've asked.
Yes.
Roohif, what is wrong with you, bro?
He keeps saying no to it, and then I say, therefore,
how many more times are you going to ask it then? If you've got the answer, you've heard the answer, it's been clarified several times. So what, you're just going to keep asking the question over and over? So on a globe, if I hang up, we've already answered it. Why do you feel that you can continue asking the same exact
on a globe, like a generalized globe? Like what kind of globe? Like what globe are we talking about?
Any globe, yeah.
Not in any globe, no.
Okay.
Because I just named three which it don't happen on. So like
but
maybe some other globe it'll happen on. It's not my logic, dude.
Yes, it is. If you're saying that I can hang a plumb bob on a string and the string is straight, that disproves the globe.
Remember when you said stop putting words in your mouth?
Yes, you are.
So let's not put words in. You didn't want people to put words in your mouth.
I'm not saying that at all.
Yes, you
never heard India say that.
So let's say we adopt a Newtonian model of gravity, right? And like we take a big chunk of fucking uranium that's a trillion tons, and we set it off to 3 feet away on the left. No, it won't point to the ground on a flat Earth. There are situations where no, it's not proof of flat Earth. I never said it was. It's not meant to imply it is. It's meant to keep you consistent with your own model and not try to mix and match shit and make a Frankenstein monster model.
Okay, let me put this in a really simple modus tollens. If the Earth is a globe, then the plumb line the plumb bob hanging from a string will curve, right? In reality, the plumb line is straight, therefore the Earth is not a globe. Simple modus tollens. That is what you are saying.
It isn't, dude. There's two premises in a logical syllogism.
That was actually, truthfully, the first time it was actually an affirming the consequent. I've been waiting for
No, it's a modus tollens, Eli.
that
Holy
right
shit.
there was an affirming the consequent. Sometimes what I call out isn't even affirming the consequent. I've been looking at the formulation, and that was the first time it happened tonight. Invalidly concluding.
Look, your premise that, look, the premise that a plumb line has to hang straight down on a flat Earth, it's not a valid premise because there's no actual reason for that to happen. But that's what we observe. We observe a plumb line hanging straight down. That's what we observe in reality. We don't observe a deflected plumb line. We don't observe a curved plumb line. The globe model claims that plumb lines are deflected and they curve them in the model to map them to their reference ellipsoid. That's a fact. It's not arguable. There's ample literature that you can comb over. There's published shit. It's not my shit. It's theirs.
Okay, let's do this logic, right? If the Earth is a globe, then the string will be
You already did this, Roohif.
Oh, stop repeating arguments that have been concluded. That's your tactic. You just recycle the argument, the line of dialogue that was just done.
Why don't we get to your measurements? Because let's just cut it down, right? So you want to make your measurements, your angle measurements, they're consistent with a globe, they're not consistent with a flat Earth, based upon accurate elevations. Where'd you get the elevations? You looked in the book. What is the book? Where did they get their elevations? Oh, they did geodetic surveying. What did they do in geodetic surveying? They assumed the Earth was a globe and they projected our measurements onto a reference ellipsoid. It's the same way as your little greater than 180 degree triangles. They didn't measure greater than 180 degree triangles, Roohif. They projected the measurements onto a reference ellipsoid. That's why it exists. Why don't you guys know this after all this time?
Eli accused me of affirming the consequent. Here is the very simple modus tollens.
Someone else talk.
He's going to repeat it again. Roohif, we heard you clearly.
Bro, you're
very
a wannabe
clear
occultist,
the first
bro.
time.
You're trying to do an incantation. Stop.
For real. You don't have to just say it one more time as if we didn't hear you the first time, and the second, and the third.
Why don't you, I was going to say, just talk to Elijah, man. We freaking burnt this bridge, man.
Really, just let Eli talk. You don't need to interrupt him at all.
Everyone everything they needed to stop the conversation an hour ago. In his video, right? No, you guys see it in the chat. I mean, y'all got to prove to me y'all understand what I'm saying now, because I'm looking at y'all suspect.
Fuck you, man. I didn't see what you even posted. What'd you even post? How far up?
I reposted it. So the first one is, in his video, and what he's claiming is flat Earth math, and then on the right side is Al-Biruni's method. Uh-oh.
All right, Eli, can you withdraw your accusation, please? Okay, accusation withdrawn. We can move on.
It's all recorded, fam. Everything that I said is as it is. You can pull a video and challenge. Only then will I go back to that conversation.
Okay, so I didn't affirm the consequent. The logical syllogism is, if the Earth is a globe, then the string will be bent. We go out into reality, the string is not bent, therefore the Earth is not a globe. That is not affirming the consequent. That's recorded. All right, let's move on.
Wait, can you say it? I didn't catch that. Can you say it one more time?
Okay. If the Earth is a globe, then the string holding the plumb bob will be bent or curved or whatever.
We do not
go out into reality, the string is straight. It's not bent. Therefore, the Earth is not a globe.
I'm here to tell
you own it, man. You own it.
I'm showing that is it Indio? Yeah, it was Indio's saying that a
why is that what you want to focus on, though?
Because I'm telling Indio his logic. He is saying a straight hanging plumb bob is proof of flat Earth.
No, I am not. That's about the 9th time you straw man me. If I wanted to say that, I would just say it.
Okay, then attack that.
I told you that it's not proof of flat Earth because there's other scenarios which are also possible, which could cause a deflection of a plumb line, right? So I would never say it's proof of anything because proof means that's the one and only one possible explanation. That I would never say that unless it actually was proof.
Look, you requested earlier that people don't put words into your, which is funny. We didn't. It was recorded, and we can play the clip where you said what you said. But now you're doing the whole putting words into other people's mouth. We told you that that's not what he's saying. I didn't hear Indio say that. He's telling you directly that's not what he's saying. Let's not have double standards here, bud.
Yeah, he's saying it.
I gotta do something. Someone else take the or whatever, however we say it.
Or we can listen to the clip where you can hear your own words back, just so you don't have to hear from us.
The left to right horizon curve is a function of height and field of view.
So you think you see left to right curve on the top of a mountain?
Yeah, yes, and you guys should accept that to be the case.
This is why we should
accept that to be the case. It's very slight.
Oh, it's very slight now. Well, how slight is it?
Well,
is it distinguishable to the naked eye?
Probably not, actually.
Oh, right. So when you go up a mountain, you don't see curve like you said.
No,
so you just lied.
Jedi said when you go up a mountain you can see curve. I said you can measure drop. No, I did not. Don't put words in my mouth.
Said what you
Don't put words in my mouth. I said going up a mountain you can measure drop over distance.
No, you just said you can see left to right curve going up a mountain, you liar.
No,
you said you can see left to right.
Rory did.
That was earlier.
You just said right there when Jedi asked about left to right curve, and I asked about it to clarify. You said yes. Then you said it's very slight. There's one guy called Rory who climbed a mountain and he took a picture and he saw that it was curved, but no one else can see it. And you can't see it with your naked eye, despite just saying you went up a mountain and saw it. So you're a liar, Roohif. And it's all recorded. And it's pathetic and it's sad. Do you think you see left to right curve on the top of a mountain?
Yeah, yes, and you guys should accept that to be the case.
Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch.
Okay, Roohif. Left to right curvature doesn't equal left to right drop over distance doesn't equal curvature. You have a drop over distance on a flat line. If you prove drop over distance, that's not curvature.
We want to address that now. Okay.
So I reposted in the chat what was asked, and again, nobody addressed it at all. I really am questioning y'all.
So I'll say it again because I know it's going to be whistled past. Drop over distance does not equal curvature. So even if you proved drop over distance by whatever quantity, that doesn't prove curvature. That could be a flat line on a downward slope.
That's technically true.
And you don't have proof of hills of water anyway, so there's that.
Hey, there we go. All right. Do we want to address the left to right curvature alleged contradiction? Yeah.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to see left to right curvature on a flat Earth or a ball.
We'll get to that in a minute. Right. Now, me personally, I have never claimed to have gone up a hill and measured left to right curvature. Right. I have gone up a hill and measured drop over distance. Okay. Rory. Second.
What are you looking at? Hasn't Timbo gone through? Just already 20 minutes ago. Are you respawning again?
Well, that was the most recent thing brought up. So I assume that's what you want me to address.
Yeah, didn't Timbo go through this earlier with you?
A Timbo slice. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
Right,
You don't
but I've
know,
been
maybe.
accused of.
You can't remember the conversation that you had 20 minutes ago.
Right, but I've been accused of making a contradiction. Right, so I want to clarify. I personally have never been up a mountain and saw left to right curvature. Right, Rory has.
Good. And you understand that seeing left to right curvature is fucking stupid. That would be an optical phenomenon. You would not see left to right curvature on a flat Earth or a ball Earth because you have a 360-degree circle of vision. You should just have a straight horizon on a ball Earth anyway, right?
No, you guys should accept left to right curvature regardless of the shape of the Earth. Do you want an explanation for that?
Is that physical or optical?
Physical.
Oh,
like
okay,
everything
so the
you see
horizon
is
is
optical.
now.
So.
Hold on. So the horizon is the physical curvature of the Earth.
Yes, absolutely.
Really?
Yep.
Even though we can demonstrate to you earlier, because when we're down at the beach, you say it's not there. It's an optical phenomena, depending on the technology that you use and the atmospheric conditions of the day. You were saying that when you go a little bit higher, that then is the physical curvature of the Earth, and it curves from left to right, which is fucking redundant.
Right, left to right curvature. Right. Do you guys understand?
But Roohif, is there a reason why you just choose not to address? You're like, well, look, what should we address? Well, what will you address?
Please tell me what we.
I'm just waiting for you to stop steamrolling people. I haven't heard you address things people are saying.
I'm getting thrown so many things. So I think you guys should accept.
You see, you're just steamrolling what I've said, and Elijah's trying to get in too. So
okay, well, someone take control. Tell me what I should address.
That again.
Yeah, because it's ridiculous. You guys can see right there. You see the graphic; they look similar. Like a 5-year-old can go, what's this? But then, just look. So, what's the predicted angle on a flat Earth? Observer elevation at site 1, blah blah blah. Elevation of saddleback, which means he's making an elevation angle measurement to a mountain or a peak, right? Which this is basically saying that these angles are wrong because this isn't the case. But here we have Al-Biruni. Move over to the next slide, right, guys? Right? You paying attention? Get a banana. Because they're doing the exact same thing to get the height of the mountain to begin to build on this premise after looking out on the horizon. How do we...
You want me to address Al-Biruni?
So are you guys not... I'm not talking to you. So do you guys not see what's going on here?
I'm following.
So what would you like me to address?
The thing that he needs for his heights, right, of the mountains to then go ahead and take these observations of is the premise that he's refuting in his fucking video.
Yeah, I said a straight line from his feet to the bottom of the mountain.
That's why I was pressing him earlier about that point earlier. No, not the Earth. No, not the Earth, the Earth. If the baseline of that elevation angle is not the Earth, then what is the object which the elevation angle is stretching upward from?
Right. And this is why we're talking about plumb bobs. Can I hang a plumb bob on a globe?
He's just going to ask the question again 15 times.
Dude. Everybody, that's non sequitur.
Not a non sequitur. Not a non sequitur.
Can you answer red herring? Where are you hanging a plumb bob when you're taking an elevation angle to the mountain?
Wherever I'm standing.
Yeah, suck a dick.
Thanks, Eli.
It's begging the question too.
I'm asking a question. Can I hang a plumb bob on a globe?
He's not begging. No, he's not. No. He's not hanging a plumb bob when he's taking an elevation angle of a mountain somewhere else.
If I cannot hang a plumb bob on a globe, then the act of hanging a plumb bob is proof of flat Earth. Do you agree with that logic?
Roohif, we've already covered this.
Right.
No. The answer was no.
Okay. So I can hang a plumb bob on a flat Earth, right? Oh, on a globe, sorry. On a globe.
Oh my god.
Yes.
So what?
Can I hang a plumb bob on a globe?
A false dichotomy.
But just follow the line of reasoning, since he's so insisted on trying to say it. So what?
Right. Yes. Can I then construct something perpendicular to that string?
Would build an edifice where you're standing?
Just hold a set square against the string of the plumb bob. Can I do that on a globe?
I'm trying to understand you. So you're just trying to build. You're standing where you're standing. You hang the plumb bob. Now you're attempting to build an edifice where you're standing. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just holding a set square against the plumb bob. Can I do that on a globe, or is that proof of flat Earth that I can't do?
I don't know what you're asking.
Stop saying on a fucking globe.
I'm just asking whether this is possible on a globe.
You hold a plumb bob.
Because you guys think elevation angles are not possible on a globe.
Acquire the horizontal he needs to then take his elevation angle measurement. How y'all not understanding?
Bro, Elijah, just
I'm not
tell
misunderstanding
him.
this. So you said the refutation.
Most definitely needs the horizontal. So then, what is the point after that? I can't really talk right now, guys. It's like I'm trying to keep it on this point, and y'all are running away from it as fast as you can.
Okay, so
I'm not misunderstanding. I'm trying to move forward in the dialogue. All right. So he's insisting on trying to say his retort. I'm going to address his retort then. Since no one wants to really address it, then I'm willing to address his retort to what we just said to him.
Is that he is using a horizontal plane. That's what he's trying to get y'all to whistle past with the plumb line thing. But that doesn't really address why he's using a horizontal angle for the elevation of the mountain.
But he's not making me whistle past it. That's what you don't understand. I'm just doing the argument. All right. I'm just addressing his point that he's trying to say. So you're hanging a plumb bob, and then you want to build an edifice where you're standing. Is that what you're saying?
You guys claim that we can't get elevation angles on a globe. All right, so I'm taking you through the very simple process of getting an elevation angle on a globe.
Okay, what you're describing is not an act of measuring an elevation angle. You said you hung a plumb bob, and then you want to build something where you're standing.
Yes, we hang a plumb bob. We construct something perpendicular to that, like a set square. Okay? I look along that set square. That is horizontal. I've established a horizontal on a globe. Do you agree?
No.
No. Which one of those steps is not possible on a globe?
When you say perpendicular, are you talking about left to right or up and down?
Perpendicular in the vertical plane. Yeah.
So up and down.
I hold one edge. I hold one edge of the set square against the string, and the other edge is horizontal because that's a 90 degree, right?
So you're holding a string with a plumb bob on the end, and there's a circle there's a square under it.
A set square. You know what a set square is? Like a right angle.
No, I don't recognize that term.
Okay, it's just a plastic geometry tool that we used in high school. It's a right angle, right? Just a right angle.
T-square. A T-square.
Yeah, that'll do. So I've hung a plumb bob, and I've held something that has a 90 degree on it against the string. I've established a horizontal on a globe, correct?
This is fascinating.
No.
No.
How have I not?
Because what you've done is you've hung a string and took 90 degrees from the string.
Yes.
Irrelevant. You're just adding on a globe.
Right.
You could
is
also
it possible
add
to do that
on a pineapple. You could also add on a pretzel, on a goldfish, on a whatever.
Right. But is it possible on a globe to do those two things?
The horizontal line then isn't the Earth then. It's just this abstract entity that you're conceiving.
Correct.
No, it has to be because the 90 degree position needs to be directly in the middle of the mountain.
Right, that's my point. He's trying to assert, like, I don't need the baseline to be the concrete surface of the Earth. No, I just need this abstract baseline that I can imagine. And then
Are you measuring the Earth through the force of gravity? Or the gravity vector?
That's the plumb bob, yes. Yeah.
So you're measuring the gravity vector.
It's the plumb bob is pointing in that
90
direction.
degrees from the gravity vector. Right?
That's what I'm establishing with the set square, yep.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with a globe.
Correct, I agree. 100%.
Okay, so why is it on a globe? Why do you keep adding that?
Is it possible to do those two things on a globe?
Roohif, if you're trying to insist that you're measuring the elevation angle from an abstract baseline, then you're not measuring the elevation angle from the Earth.
I'm on the Earth. The reference for an elevation angle is horizontal. Yes, it is.
No, Roohif. If you're imagining this abstract baseline upon the Earth, and it's not the Earth's surface itself, then you're not measuring the elevation angle from the Earth's surface.
I'm on the Earth's surface, but the reference for an elevation angle
No, not what
is
you just
horizontal.
said, what I just said. You're standing on the Earth and you're imagining a hypothetical abstract baseline, and then the elevation angle from that, not the surface of the Earth.
Yeah, the baseline for an elevation angle is not the surface.
Insufficient with the so-called elevation surface, because the elevation angle isn't from the Earth's surface, it's from your hypothetical abstract baseline that you're imagining.
Are you familiar with celestial navigation? How familiar are you with it?
No, not interrogate me about this. What I just said is a savage refutation against your position. It's not the Earth's surface. It's a hypothetical abstract baseline.
Yes. Exactly right.
Right. So not the Earth's surface. So you didn't measure the Earth's surface.
The elevation and the reference for an elevation angle is an imaginary horizontal line. It is not
right.
The
so
Earth's
what
surface.
I just said then.
What did you say?
What I just said. Play the clip back.
Holy smokes, dude.
It's either the line that is the Earth's surface, or it's not the line that is the Earth's surface. You're trying to imagine some hypothetical flat baseline of a triangle that you're imagining, which is not the Earth's surface.
Correct.
So then you're not measuring the elevation angle from the Earth's surface. So then you didn't prove that you measured the elevation angle from the Earth's surface.
I am on the Earth's surface, but the reference for an
You haven't
elevation
proven
angle
Earth's surface is curving
not
in the
the
first
Earth's
place.
surface.
Exactly.
You would need to prove
You're
that
not on
Earth's
the Earth's
surface is
surface.
curving.
You're like a hummingbird, and you're just floating there. You're not on the Earth's surface. Can you still do the same thing?
Am I in some gravitational field?
Yeah, you're a hummingbird.
Why can't you just prove the Earth? Why can't you just prove the Earth curving surface in the first instance?
Holy shit! Your audio is really bad.
Yeah, Sonny, man. Holy shit.
Maybe pull back a little bit from the microphone. A little bit, Sonny.
Yeah, man. Gregory's got it. Gregory's got it 100%. Yeah, the reference for an elevation angle is not the surface of the Earth. It's horizontal.
So then you didn't measure the Earth's surface.
My God, what's a GP, you prick?
GP, the ground position for a star.
Awesome stuff. And what's the angle underneath that GP? What's the angle underneath that GP?
Between what and what? Between the observer and the GP?
Yeah, so underneath the star's got a ground position, and that angle is what?
There's it's not a straight line between the observer and the GP.
No, I'm asking you a question, mate. The GP is an angle on the surface of the Earth, so what is that angle on the surface?
The GP
Then the answer would be in degrees, ding dong.
No, you are. I can stand at the GP and I can establish a horizontal. That horizontal does not hit the observer.
All right, so I'm going to ask you again. Underneath the GP, what's the angle?
Yeah, again,
What's
the angle to what? I can construct a horizontal at the GP. What you are claiming,
The answer will be in degrees, ding dong.
You want me to give you the
It'll
angle?
be a number. It'll be a numerical value.
Okay, you're asking what the angle is between the GP and the observer?
In reverse, is that the horizontal doesn't hit the GP, because he said the GP's horizontal doesn't hit the observer. But if you're an observer somewhere else, not under the star, then he's saying the horizontal doesn't hit the observer, aka no 90 degree between you, the star, and the GP.
The angle between the star, the GP, and the observer is not 90 degrees. That's your answer. Okay?
All right, so you don't know what celestial navigation is?
Well, I've done it. You guys haven't.
Oh,
yeah, you don't know shit about it. You don't know what you're talking about.
Did you do it in practice?
Yeah.
Did you do it in practice?
I've taken angle measurements.
Where'd you sail to?
I didn't sail. I've done celestial
Okay, so you've never done it.
I've done celestial navigation. Does not require you to be sailing. It requires you to get a position fix by taking angles to stars.
What position do you get? Do you get longitude and latitude? Yeah.
Yes. Hang on, my son's.
How'd you get those latitude? How'd you get the latitude time to begin with? Oh, you're going to fuck off now, are you?
Relax, my son here. I have 4 children. I'll be back in a minute.
That's absolutely fine. We'll come back and we'll figure out how you got your elevation angles to Polaris to get latitude lines. We'll do that in a minute.
This finally needs to be all this. What he's trying to assert is that he can do investigation upon the curvature of the supposed curvature of the Earth, but he doesn't need to appeal. He doesn't need to reference the curvature of the Earth's surface. He can just reference this hypothetical flat baseline to get the elevation angle. If he does that, then he didn't get the elevation angle from the Earth's surface. And if you don't get the elevation angle from the Earth's surface, you didn't get the position about the Earth. You're not getting any geometric quantitative facts about the Earth and the relationship between the Earth and other objects. You're getting only quantitative geometric facts about hypothetical abstract entities.
Anyway, I'm back. Have you done celestial navigation?
The what's that? The diagram that curve function collapsed and I reposted. That's in effect what he's saying.
Jedi,
That's what he's saying. So he literally conceded.
So there's
he's
a
not
flat line, but there's no relation with you standing on the Earth and the mountain, or in celestial navigation, some star somewhere else. There's no relation.
Did you say you've done celestial navigation?
Roohif, you're not trying to address anything anyone's saying. You're just
Really?
steamrolling.
Shocking. So shocking.
At this point, if you're just going to
I'm gonna say it
continue to
again.
do that, like you're going to have to address things directly because this is getting.
I'm going to say this again in refutation to this last point. His method, his calculation method, is to get quantitative geometric facts about hypothetical abstract entities. He's not getting quantitative geometric facts about concrete entities, the Earth and the celestial bodies, and his position. That's ineffective.
Yeah, or the base and the top of the mountain.
Well, it's actually worse than that because what he's claiming to measure is the relationship of the Earth to a phenomenon, right? And this phenomenon, he's assuming, is intersecting the ground at 90 degrees. Because if it isn't intersecting the ground at 90 degrees, then his horizontal line will be tilted up in some direction. Or down, depending on which, right? You're on top of the mountain, it can be tilted up or down, depending on which way the vertical is deflected. But he's appealing to a phenomenon no one in science claims exists. No one past 9th grade says that the plumb line points to the Earth at 90 degrees to the surface. And it can't because it's an oblate ellipsoid, that's one. The Earth gravitational model, which is supposed to be lumpy gravity, right? The fact that the astrogeodetics don't line up to geodetic surveying, and that's why we have deflection of the vertical in the first place. That's why it exists, to explain away the fact that the celestial sphere doesn't match the sphere that they claim is under it. So these three facts, you're trying to bring your own globe. And I was even thinking of changing the name of this event to Bring Your Own Globe, because that's what you're doing. You're trying to bring your own globe and say, yes, there's a globe out there where the plumb line would point straight down and intersect it, and then I could take a 90-degree abstract horizontal line, and then I could measure the Earth relative to this phenomenon of straight-down gravity on my globe that doesn't exist. What are we talking about here?
Well, he
So drop over
distance wouldn't meet the GP.
So drop over distance does not equal curvature, and your supposed elevation angle that you got with your hypothetical abstract baseline that is not the Earth's surface is not informative about the geometric quantitative relationships between the Earth's surface and the celestial bodies in your position. And that is not how sailors or celestial navigators do what they do.
He's trying to construct a relationship of the Earth's surface by saying a plumb line points straight down to the ground. And the geometric relationship is 90 degrees. He's trying to construct that with words, right? But it's not the model. He's trying to make his own homogeneous, isotropic, perfect sphere, and then say, yes, the phenomenon of gravity makes the plumb line point straight down. Nobody believes that. That's not the globe model.
So even if you did prove what you did prove, if you prove drop over distance, you haven't proved curvature. And if you proved that your geometric quantitative calculations, including this hypothetical flat baseline and your hypothetical triangle and your hypothetical attempt to do this elevation angle measurement, you haven't, again, calculated or quantified any geometric quantitative facts about concrete reality.
It's drop over distance. Well, not even really. In a completely perfect abstract vacuum world, it's drop over distance relative to the gravity vector's horizontal line. It has actually nothing to do with the surface of the Earth, other than measuring the angle relative to his gravity vector, whatever angle that intersects the ground at. But who knows, right? Because,
notice how we can make forward progress in the dialogue when he's not talking and come to a conclusion.
Yeah, that's because we're not playing whack-a-mole. With him constantly editing, going back, re-editing what he said, adding a word, adding a qualifier, erasing a word, and then trying to remold and remodel his claims until he gets something that stands logical scrutiny.
That's why, to negate that sophistry, I simply let them rephrase what they said. No, Gregory, you got what I said wrong. Okay, go ahead, say it again. Okay, go ahead, say it again. Okay, go ahead, say it again. Okay, go ahead, say it again.
Okay, if we're going to unmute this guy, we're going to get to something. Oh, he did? Shit.
Okay, Roof is back. Hey, Roof. Maybe you could just talk to Indio. That'd be awesome. Because I know Indio knows this stuff.
3 words in and got muted for 5 minutes. That's not a way to have a conversation.
Well, let's not talk about that anyway. It's not productive.
Just put it down in your diary. You'll survive.
I agree. It's not productive to mute you for 5 minutes at a time. I agree. All right. Anyhow, India, what's up?
Yeah. I don't know. What are we talking about? Look in the chat. You see that all these are horizontal lines, right? All these red lines. Yeah, they're horizontal lines. This is your model. So how can you take a horizontal line and assume anything about its relationship to the ground?
That's the distinction I was making, is we're just hanging a string on a weight.
Yes.
So then you are not getting geometric quantitative facts about the relationship between the celestial body and the GP and your position. So you haven't successfully gotten an elevation angle from the Earth.
Can I hang a string on a weight on a globe? Is that possible on a globe to hang a string?
No, not what you just said, what I just said. Not your red hair.
This is why you were muted, Roofy. This is why you were muted, because I said this in the chat. It's because you're not addressing what people are saying. You're getting a rebuttal, and then you're just sidestepping it, steamrolling, and then maybe repeating the last question you asked 15 times. That's why you've
claiming that I can't get an elevation angle.
So you've also not addressing what I just said. You see what I'm saying?
I'm addressing Gregory's claim that I can't get an elevation angle on a globe.
No, you're saying words in response to me after I spoke. You didn't say it with a logically sequitur response to what I just said.
Well, if you let me speak, then I can actually get through.
You said this 1,000 times already. That's why you got muted.
Okay, can I get an elevation angle on a globe?
You want to do it again? Mute him.
You're just doing it again, bro.
Come back when you get a logically sequitur response to what I just said.
Do you have a question?
Elevation relative to what?
Sea level.
Hold on. Okay. Sea level.
Yep.
How'd you find sea level?
They measure the mean difference between the high tide and low tide over several years.
Okay, can you get an elevation angle from sea level? I don't know how you measure that. So what are you going to measure, the horizon?
What do you mean, can I get an elevation angle from sea level?
Are you going to measure from the horizon? I'm trying to figure out where you're measuring. Where's that? What is that angle, right? So you got to have two lines, right? One line has to be parallel to the ground, and the other line has to be some elevation. That's why we call it an elevation angle, right? So
one line is
elevation off of what, right?
One line is perpendicular to plumb. The other line points to the object.
Okay, so the line that's perpendicular to plumb is the baseline.
Yes, for an elevation angle.
And you're measuring from that.
Yep.
And what's its relationship to the ground?
It doesn't have one. The ground could do anything.
There we have it. There we have it, folks. Click that shit. Doesn't have one. Thank you very much.
That is the Earth. So then you're not getting any geometric, quantitative related facts about the Earth and its relationship to the celestial body and your position on the surface of the Earth. Thank you.
I am on the surface of the Earth measuring an elevation angle. Do you have a problem?
Using an elevation angle that has no
what I just said is a savage conclusion of what he just said.
You just admitted it has no relationship to the Earth.
Yeah. The horizontal
so
line
it has no
relationship to the surface of the Earth.
Informative. It is completely uninformative about the GP and your position on the surface of the Earth and the relationship between the elevation height of the celestial body above the GP.
Right, the GP. So the line between, the angle formed between the star, the GP, and the observer is not 90 degrees.
So there isn't.
What is it then?
What if the star's a zenith? What if
we already know why he says not 90 degrees, because he knows that you can't get a 90 degree with that curved baseline. And he already told us that it's not related to the Earth. So it's not informing him about the relationship between the celestial body and your position at the GP.
Yeah, I'll repeat it again. It's not a 90 degree between the star, the GP. And
why do you feel the need to repeat it?
What if the star's at zenith?
Then it's at zenith. Straight above you. You know where you are.
Yeah, what's that angle?
Between what and what? There's no angle.
Between you and the horizontal line. What's that angle?
Yeah, anything between
you and the horizontal line, right? You took your plumb, you took your square, you made your horizontal line. The star's at zenith. What's the angle between those two things? What's the star's elevation angle if it's at zenith?
The star is at zenith, right? That's an elevation angle of 90.
Roohif,
okay,
sorry.
Thank you. Game over.
We need a
That's
numerical value here.
He did. He said 90. It's over.
All right.
Thank you. It's all you needed to say. 90 degrees. That was it.
This is what you really want to do.
Now you do understand that every single star has got a GP of 90 degrees. Right?
If I'm just going to be muted when I get 2 seconds in, what's the point?
Whistle past what he just said.
There's no point to you. No point to you, Roohif. You understand that the GP angle underneath stars 90 degrees, right?
When you say it's 90 degrees, right? Any vertical to any horizontal is always by definition 90 degrees. I'm careful with my words to say that the angle between the sun, the GP, and the observer is not 90 degrees.
Stop the cap.
You understand that? Let's call the star in question Polaris.
Right.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Beautiful.
And that has a 90 degree ground position underneath Polaris, correct? If we're using celestial navigation correctly.
If I am standing at under Polaris,
question, are you? I'm not standing underneath Polaris.
Got to answer the question, buddy. Want to ask it again, Jedi?
Okay, I'm sure you can remember.
Okay, let me rephrase it for you, Jedi. Jedi's a freaking polar explorer. He wants to go to the North Pole. So he has to find out the GP of Polaris. What's that angle?
Okay.
What's that
the angle between what and what?
The North Pole and Polaris.
That's a straight line. That's 2 points. What is the third point to form that angle? Yeah, his observer. It's not 90 degrees.
Now look.
Of course not. A fucking triangle doesn't add up to 90 degrees. It's 180 degrees. God damn it! What is your point?
There's no triangles in celestial navigation.
No.
Oh my God! Yes, there is.
You see what I just did? You see what I just unlocked when I said that?
No, hold on. Yes, but hold on. So, with what Indio is saying, obviously the GP is under Polaris. That's 90 degrees to what? To the observer. Now, figure 2 says. All right. Now, figure 2 says the angle measured with the sextant is in reality one corner of a right triangle formed by you, the celestial body, and its geographical position on the Earth.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's a wrong diagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, mommy looks like.
You have 3 points, right? The celestial body, the GP in your position, There's 3 lines between those 3 points, correct?
Hold on. You might want to wait. Someone was one of his children was talking to him. I muted him so we don't have to hear his personal stuff. Roohif, just type in the chat when you're ready. I muted you so your like personal business ain't on the internet.
It's not a triangle, right? 3 points, 3 lines. That doesn't make a triangle.
Look, we don't have to talk to this guy because he says there's not a right angle triangle within celestial navigation. The guy obviously doesn't know what celestial navigation is. So what the fuck are we talking to him about?
What is his triangle? An obtuse triangle? An equilateral triangle?
The whole point of celestial navigation is triangles.
Gregory, doesn't matter for triangle. For the angle, you need 2 straight lines. Doesn't matter triangle.
Well, of course, again, you see, there's a tactic we need to learn. We need to learn how to expose the absurd implications of someone's premises. So the reason I'm saying this is because in his mind, what he was thinking, but I then had to say a response to provoke him to say it out loud to expose that presupposition in his line of thought, is that triangles are not involved, or at least not always involved, in celestial navigation. So for us to insist that it's only triangles involved as it concerns celestial navigation, then of course he thinks that's an invalid thing to say.
Navigation.
Hold on, Roohif.
Okay, so here he is. Here he is. So 3 points, 3 lines, all together. That doesn't make a triangle, Roohif?
No.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second before we start that. Right? Think for a second. Do you know why I muted you?
Hopefully because my kid came in the room.
Yes. Okay. I just wanted you to know you weren't muted for. I didn't want your business on the internet, so.
Okay. All good. Yeah.
All right. Carry on.
3 points, 3 lines. That doesn't make a triangle altogether.
Right. The geometry of celestial navigation, the line between the GP and the star is parallel to the line between the observer and the star. That's why it's not a triangle, right? Because of the huge distance to the star.
Parallel?
We treat those lines as parallel, yes.
What kind of goddamn sense does that make?
They're very far away. We treat them as parallel. That's how the geometry works.
But you treat them as parallel or not?
Sorry?
No. You want to talk about being accurate and being careful with your words? I can play that game. You said you treat them as parallel. Now, either you're treating the situation as it is, or you're not. So, are they parallel?
I've posted in the chat at 22 minutes past to show you, for the closest star, how close they are to parallel.
Answer the question. Okay. It's a close-ended question, yes or no. Are they parallel or not?
No.
So the line that stretches up to the celestial from the observer and the line that stretches up from the GP to the celestial body, they don't intersect at that point that is the celestial body?
They intersect at the star, but they are so far away.
They do intersect at the star, so they're not parallel.
Right, but they are so far away that we treat them as parallel. That's how
No, they're not parallel, so you're treating them as they're not.
Okay, I'll repeat it for a third time.
You're measuring what is not the case. So you failed to get the elevation angle. You failed to do celestial navigation. Thank you.
Sorry. You don't need to repeat it, Roohif. You speak plain English very clearly. We can hear you. It's all recorded. So if this thing in your mind, you're like, well, maybe if I just say it one more time, then they'll finally hear me. We're hearing you. So stop repeating yourself, buddy. You sound like a robot.
Okay. As long as
he just told us
how close to parallel they are.
He just told us that the lines from the observer to the celestial body and the GP to the celestial body do intersect at the celestial body, so they're not parallel. So when he says we treat them as parallel, he's treating the situation in celestial navigation as it is not as it is. So he failed to do celestial navigation.
All right. My infographic thing is in the chat at 22 minutes past. That is why we treat them as parallel.
Whatever. Okay. Begging the question has even got the distance to the star in the first place.
Yeah, they're very far away. The end.
And that's they're very far away. The end.
The assumption of
so specific, so sophisticated. What wisdom?
Yeah, a lot of rigor, such rigor as well. Amazing.
Yeah, this geometry only works. Oh, billions. Yeah, the
Billions.
geometry
That's
of
so
celestial
good.
navigation.
So I guess I have to say this.
Every
This
single
retort is
star's
no
got a ground
refutation to my
position.
refutation
Sorry,
of you.
God.
Every star's got a ground position, isn't it?
Sure. Yep.
That's why it's called a GP, isn't it?
Yes.
Every single star. So every single star is a GP angle of what?
What are the 3 points that form the angle?
It's got an angle. Hold on. It's got an angle underneath the GP. What is it, mate? What is that angle on the GP?
Clarify what the
Straight
3
line.
points
I will. It's 2 lines. Straight line down from the star to reach the GP, and horizontal line to the person with the fucking sextant. So what's that angle?
This will be a numerical value. Okay, we need a number, Roohif, not word salad. Number.
Okay, it is not 90 degrees between the.
We're going to need a number, Roohif. Try again.
Not moving from this point till you give a number.
Okay. Let's try again. What is the angle? What is the angle? I'm not asking you what it's not. What is the angle? We need a direct answer here, buddy. Take the tap dancing shoes off, please.
Okay, Jedi is asking for the angle between.
Yeah. So what is the angle? We need a number. We need a number here. He's gone. He's gone anyway. Fuck him.
He left?
Fuck him.
Ridiculous. It's not 90 degrees. 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 Come on, make the spell work. Work.
Yeah, but it is an altitude angle between the horizon U and the star. So obviously the word horizon is confusing for some because the horizon is supposed to be some geometric location. So I don't know how that would fit into this explanation of the angle from the horizon, because the horizon is just horizontal. That's all. Really, it's a zero angle. If you were to put your, like Jedi says, sextant on the floor, the angle is zero. Straight out.
Altitude is zero. The altitude is zero. Just to stop all of the calculations, because we're going to want to know our altitude above the surface. When we have drawn our tangent line down to the horizon, we then subtract our altitude to the surface to make the altitude zero. So that's why I always put the sextant on the fucking floor. Straight line from sextant
line could also be characterized as a zero angle. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's what a horizontal is.
On its face, on English grammar, it's horizontal. It's the horizon. It's the horizon because it's horizontal. It's a line that's not curving.
Horizontal.
It's not a point. It's a line that's not curving. Okay, so what did we just say? So drop over distance does not equal curvature. So even if he did prove quote unquote drop over distance, he did not prove curvature. So that failed. He's trying to do celestial navigation according to a hypothetical horizontal baseline, and it's not the Earth's surface. So therefore, at best, even if he did calculations correct, then he's only measured quantitative facts about a hypothetical relationship between the hypothetical baseline object, whatever that surface is, of whatever that object is, to the celestial body and his position on the surface of that hypothetical object. So he did not get any geometric quantitative facts about the Earth and its relationship between the celestial bodies and the position of anyone else doing the measurement on the surface of that goddamn Earth. God bless her, should I say.
Where did this idea... Yeah. Where's this whole, you need 3 points for an angle? What's going on there?
It's a complete non sequitur. He knows it doesn't make any sense. He just has to direct a focus away from the obvious implications that are being reached. He knows full and well. You don't need the 3 points, technically, it would be the 2 points at the end of 2 lines.
At the end, yeah.
Right? And then the 2 lines at one of the 2 ends, the 2 points at one of the 2 ends of the 2 lines then intersect. So now you have 3 points with 2 lines. And that's why I had to say what I said in response to him, because a triangle, well, we're not talking about a triangle, are we? We're talking about 2 lines, right? 2 lines. not 3 lines, right? Triangle. We're not talking about a triangle. We're talking about a uni angle because there's only one angle in this question. But if you don't have the 3rd line, then you don't have 2 more angles to talk about. So of course a triangle doesn't fucking add up to 90 degrees. It's 180 degrees.
Jesus, Gregory, he's got you blaspheming and cursing and everything.
Look, listen to me.
Eddie,
I have a limit.
Take a breath.
I have a limit. When I hear someone making, you see, I have this issue in my own personal life. So it's kind of an issue for me. So when I detect that someone is making speaking English more difficult, far more difficult than it needs to be, that infuriates me. And especially when it's in a sophistic, prideful defense of a lie that has profound implications, right? And that is integral to so much suffering and pain in the world, which he has the nerve to complain about, then I especially just multiplies my infuriation by what is a magnitude. So yeah.
What is your profession?
See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.